I'm always working. Like even before my practices, even on the weekends before sparring, like I'm always on the clock because people like one thing people gotta understand, like when you're starting your own business, whatever it is, you're always gonna be working. Like,
you are now tuning in to the Relentless Project. Real people, real stories, real life.
I never know how to introduce this stuff, so.
Oh, I mean, it's my first time, so I'm.
It's your first time.
Yeah,
first time.
First time.
Come here often, dude. I had Gamble on. Shout out to Cody Gamble. We're going, and it's like good. 5 minutes in, he's just like, and I'm like, okay, and he's like, oh, can we restart? I'm so nervous. I'm like, yeah, dude. I'm like, we just edited. Like, it don't matter. I can cut whatever. I'm like, don't feel nervous. Like, just flow. If you fuck something up, be like, I fucked that up. You know what I actually meant. Like, it's open platform. Bro. I mean, I'm sure we'll get snippets out of shit we say. And people
I'm
be
sure
like, look what he said. He hates fat
something.
people. Come on, dude.
Like, I'm sure you can cut something.
Dude, you can cut anything. Look at politics now. You can make someone look amazing or someone look horrible, but it takes off 2 seconds. I'm like, are we better than that?
Oh, 100.
Have we reached a point where, like, that's where we have to be now?
I think we are better than that. It's just we don't want to be better than that.
Yeah, it's like, this is what I'm running for. This is what I stand for. No, it's, I hate this person. Look what they've done. Look what they've done. Look, it's like, what are you about to do, though? I want to know what you about to do.
Yeah. They make a lot of snips.
So here we are. I'm here with Will Moriarty, representing Stout. I appreciate you for jumping on the podcast, bro. And we just about to get into it. So one thing I like to do, it sounds a little cliche, but I like to have people who are listening kind of get to know you, like where you're from, what like growing up, what you did. And then we start segmenting into the stuff you're doing. So you're a local guy, right?
I am a local PA guy. I'm a local Yinzer.
He's okay. Let's talk about that.
All right.
You from Cranberry, right?
Yeah.
So when I went to college up in Erie.
Okay.
At Penn State Barron. And there was a kid I went to school. He's like, I'm from Pittsburgh. Most Pittsburgh dudes you'll ever meet, right?
Yeah.
And then I moved down here probably 6 years ago.
Right.
And he had told me, he's like, I'm from Pittsburgh, and I'm like, oh, dude, that's dope. Like, I've never been at that time. And then I would travel like once every couple months down here. I thought I was the shit. Mm-hmm. And then he had told me he's from Cranberry. I'm like, oh, dude, what part of Cranberry? Like, where's Cranberry in like relation to Pittsburgh? He's like, oh, it's in the North Hills. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, so then I moved down here and I realized Cranberry's so damn far from the city.
Dude, we used to call it when we were younger a bubble. We call it a bubble because like, everyone in the city, like, when you come down here, everybody's either, like, tough. There's, like, just a lot going on down here. Which versus...
Steel City, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Steel City, you got to be tough.
Versus, like, I get made fun of for being from Cranberry. I mean, because, like, listen, I'm one of, like, 3 black kids from, like, that area. So it was like, we're not really
not much melanin up there.
Nah.
Is that what it is? Melanin?
Yeah.
I almost said melatonin. Not much sleep going on in Cranberry either, bro.
Yeah. So it's like... being from Cranberry, right, was like, and I come down to the city, there's like, there's dudes just being like, oh, you're from where? You're from Cranberry? Oh, you're soft. And I'm like, low-key, like, no, I'm not soft. In my head, I'm like, compared to these guys, I might be a little soft because they out here just kind of punching dudes in the face and all this. And then,
it's that perception.
Yeah, it's that real perception of that. And I'm just kind of like, I come from like a very strong friend group and family background. So
see, that's that's the goal though.
Right.
I come from the opposite, and I had like the opposite effect. Right, I grew up in the Lower East Side of Erie.
Yeah.
Bro, we hard down here.
You rep the area, like
It's like what like, and we had a conversation on a past episode. Like, none of that shit really matters. Like, who are you, and what do you bring to the table? Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, a lot of people hide behind. Like, I'm associated with with this friend group or this gang or this. It's like, but
Right.
what you about?
Right, exactly.
Like, what are you about? You know, and I think especially now that a lot of people are training and fighting and
Yeah.
stuff like you never know, bro. Like you're from Cranberry and you
Right,
fight.
right. I mean, like, the crazy thing is, dude, like, I've never been in a fight in my entire life living in Cranberry. Like, I've never been punched in the face. I've never even been, like, in
So
like a
what
scrap.
led you to
MMA.
wanting to get punched in the face for fun?
Honestly,
Scooter,
just
so
being
people here.
being an athlete. Like,
So you played sports growing
Yeah,
up. What kind of
exactly.
sports were you into?
I was into football, lacrosse, baseball. Like, I played a lot of sports in high school.
Do you think that obviously I don't this sounds like a dumb question, but do you think that translates well into getting into MMA?
100%. Because, I think it's also a really, like, a great thing for athletes who can't compete anymore. Also, because I think there's like I'm not saying I had like a little depression after I was done, like, playing sports from high school to college. But after that, it's like, okay, I got to realize a couple things. I'm not going to NFL. I played college lacrosse to the highest level, and then that was over. And so then it's like, what do I got next? Just graduate college, go to work, regular 9 to 5.
It's like an identity thing. Like what's next for me?
Yeah, and it's like, I love my job, I love what I do, but then it's like I just go home and then what? Like, I was always the type of person, like, I got in lifting, I got all that, but then it was just kind of like,
It's my thing, bro.
I was just kind of like,
There's no competition unless you're like
yeah,
strength training, like going to those competition stuff. But there's nothing to like that tests. Hey, where are you right now?
yeah, exactly. So it was just one of those things for me where I was like, I need something to learn. I need something to, even if I'm not competing, I just want to learn. And I like the learning benefactor of like, this sport. It's like golf to me. It's like you can never get good at it. You might have those days where you're like, oh, I'm hitting down straight down like that fairway. But then it's like you'll have like that next hole where you're like,
I mean, I think Tiger Woods would disagree.
well, I mean,
But there's always that. Yeah, there's always that extreme. But yeah, golf. Here's the thing. I am good. Not the boast, but I am good at just about anything I put my mind to.
right.
Golf, I cannot grasp it to save my life.
Yeah.
And people make excuses for me. Oh, dude, your shoulders, you're bigger, your mobility.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's like I'm good at baseball.
Yeah.
It's the same.
I mean,
well, it's not the same, but I'm
but
like,
you're swinging.
why
like,
can't I hit a damn golf ball where I want it to go?
You're moving the same like muscle groups to.
Bro,
move
I
a
get
ball.
more sore after golf than I do after rolling.
I completely agree. And I'll sit there, and like when I was teaching at Stout, there was I wasn't great at trying to talk to people and tell them like, oh, you want to do a hook this way, or you want to move your body this way. Golf helped me a lot, and I was telling people, I'm like, oh, when you're throwing a kick, just just swing your leg and let your leg do the work. Just let your leg do the work. Don't try to put like a lot of like muscle behind it. Just let it swing. Use your hips. Yeah.
Fluidity.
Exactly. So when it comes back to me getting into this sport, it was like I won the fight. I won fights and I lost fights. And I'm like, wow, this is somewhat like golf to me, because it's like you can go against someone who's having a great day and you might land a couple strikes on him, but he's hitting everything crisp. Now, and honestly, my first fight, I was beating this guy. He was a wrestler. I was out striking him. I took him down to the ground. All it took was from one slip up. And he just got on my back and just backpacked me and choked me. And I'm like, what just happened? I was like, I was just winning this whole thing just now. And I was like, well, this dude had more fights than I had, a little more experience. And that'd be like the Tiger Woods situation. If I play against Tiger, and let's say I hit a great drive on, I'm winning like that first 9. Whole rest of the back 9, I just go trash, and Tiger's just straight up like just dogging me at this point. And it'd be like, I feel like it just comes to not an experience thing, but like an athlete whose mind is, I want to keep competing and I want to keep learning in the sport that I can never be really good at, but I can be good, but it's like there will always be flaws in it.
You can be better, but you'll never reach a point where you're good.
Exactly.
It's that consistency.
Exactly.
And I think that's where people like Tiger Woods in golf, or like the more reps they do, the more consistent they become. Where the less experienced you are, the less consistent you are.
Yeah.
Right. And then I was having a conversation with Mike Wilkins at one of the he like came up to coach one of the stout guys at a grappling event in Slippery Rock. And I'm like, do you like, because I get gassed. Like that's my biggest weakness, right? I'm like, do you ever not get tired when you're competing? And he's just like, no. Like you just learn to fight through and deal with the tiredness. I'm like, shit, so I'm always about to be tired?
I don't know.
Dude, I don't like that, man.
I don't know if there's just some times when I hear Mike talk and like how he is a dude, I love him. And like when he's like talking like that, I'm just like, honestly, bro, I just think you're just one of them. Like you're just one of those dudes who was just, you're just built different.
Bro, yeah, no. When he talks, I'm like, cool, that's for you. Because like our roles, you don't like fighting through tired.
Yeah.
No, I think he just don't get tired.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, look, like you're Mike. Like you don't get tired. Like his mentality is so strong, and I'm just kind of like, bro, how do I get that? Just give me your mentality. I don't need the cardio. I just need your mentality because I feel like even if you were tired, you're not stopping.
I would die.
Yeah. Like,
if I tried to do it, I would die. I'm not exaggerating. I'm Puerto Rican. I can be dramatic.
Yeah.
No, I would die. I think I would die. I'm dead serious, bro. Like our roles for fun, like just
yeah.
So I do it weekly.
Yeah.
Bro, after an hour class of like drilling and breaking and rolling, live rolling, I'm close to death. Like I remember, dude, the last class, which I haven't trained since March due to my meniscus, but I remember one of the last classes I had, the room was literally closing, and I forget who the instructor was. He's like, "All right, let's go again." I'm like, "Wow." Do you got an AED?
Yeah.
Do y'all got AED? Are y'all certified for CPR? Because I'm about to go.
Like, bro, just give me a second, please.
When you ask for a second, that's when I think they're like, all right, let's go harder.
Like, this is what we're going to do right now. I'm like,
that's why I'd be like, yeah, I'm about it.
Bro.
I'm about it.
I'm like,
I'm
yeah,
about it. Where's the water, though?
I can do it. I got it. It's give me like 5. And I got it. I'll be back. I got you.
So you were like high level in lacrosse, right?
Yeah,
in college?
Yeah.
What college did you go to?
So I went to Robert Morris.
RMU. I was looking at them.
I went to Robert Morris to play lacrosse for, a semester. And then before I got to, I was doing summer training. I was up at like 5 a.m. lifts, running through graveyards for like miles.
Bring that back.
Yep. And then once that, I got in some trouble with the NCAA clearinghouse.
Will gets in trouble, bro? Nah, you're like, every time I see that's the face I see every time. He's just always happy and giddy.
Well, it wasn't my fault. It was my high school's fault because they didn't give the NCAA the right classes and requirements that I didn't take.
Oh, so it was like an education
it was an education thing. But I was still fine to stay there and play. But the coach comes up to me and was like, yo, you're not going to be able to play really until like your junior year. So you'll be redshirted all the way up until then. And I was like, bro, what? What do you mean? He goes, yeah, you didn't get cleared. So I was like, is there anything I can do? Like some summer classes? He was like, no, you just have to just be redshirt until.
So what does that mean? Because a lot of people talk about that here, but I don't know if a lot of people
get what that really means.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you go to the NCAA clearinghouse and then they make you a red shirt just means you're on a team, but you're on a practice squad. So you don't see the field. You don't.
Oh.
You're a dummy. Like you're straight just like for the starters and even like the second string to get the beat on you. And I'm like, bro, I'm no second string. Like you guys recruited me and told me I'm coming here to play as a freshman and starting up under this lineup. So I'm like, nah. And so then I got reached out to by the Teal College coach, and he was like, well, you don't need no NCAA with us. We're D3. He goes, and you'll be starting right off the bat. So I'm like, bro, you're talking pretty good in my ears now.
I like what you're saying.
I was like, I'm loving what you're saying. So I get to start, and you guys have a dome. I'm going to play in the snow? Oh, Mom, we're going to Teal. So I called her up, told her that, and next you know, we signed them transcripts, went right to Teal College, played there for also a semester because, you know, we got in some bad trouble. Like, this is actually some actual bad trouble type deal. So it was our, like, second into the semester a little bit, and I get a call from my lacrosse coach. I'm in my dorm room, right? And he's like, yo, you got to get down here right now. And so I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, you know, I just got to this campus. Like, I'm new. Like, they already started their fall ball season. And I'm like, I'm the new guy. So I'm like, I don't know what's going on. And this is like the second week there for me. Like, I already practiced and everything. The team was great. You know, they were cool guys. Wasn't the, like, high level of, like, competition I was looking for. Because everyone wants to go D1. Like, that's the competition. Like, it's the best of the best.
You can be the bottom of D1 or the top of D2 and D3.
Exactly. So, you know, he calls me up. You know, I walk down there, and I walk through the cafeteria doors, and like there's this little office space, right? And I just see like these two guys in like all black suits. And my team is just sitting at the table looking like someone just like got killed. And I'm like, I walk in, and I don't really know anybody yet. Like, I know my roommate who like a little bit, and I'm looking at him like, yo, what's good?
What are we walking into?
Like, why are these like two big like dudes, and like, what's happening here? He's like, just wait. And I'm like, all right. And I'm sitting there, and the guy, and like, I forget what his name was, but he was like this like tall, like he was big, like he's probably like 6'3", just jacked,
juicy dude.
And I'm like, bro, what is happening here? And he starts off by saying, he goes, so we know who the person is in this room. We got a call, and we do have evidence against this person that he raped this girl.
Oh.
And so my eyes just go.
I'm good because it ain't me, and I know nothing about it.
Oh, I'm one of those people who gets really nervous, and like, especially for something like that, I look at my coach, and I go, Coach, Coach, I just got here. Like, Coach, you just recruited me here. I just got here last week. He goes, please be quiet while they're talking. And I was like, I'm sorry, Coach. I'm sorry, but I'm just like nervous. He goes, just sit back. And so the guys go, we're going to take all your guys' phones, and your season's done. We're in fall ball. Our season, lacrosse doesn't start till the spring. And we're all the way in like October. And so I'm like, our season's done? What do you mean? Like,
you just got recruited to play.
I just got recruited to play. And so I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm only care about the season. Like, even though this dude just said about this girl, but I'm like, dude, I just got here. I barely even know these guys. And so then they take our phones in this box, they go away, and then our coach goes, everybody come turn in your gear, all the gear that we gave you. And I'm like, Coach, I gotta talk to you. Like, I don't want to pull that card and be like, oh, I left D1, like, let's come play for you. Like, I'm your top guy. Like, you gonna do this to me? But I really kind of did. I was just kind of like, dude, you just recruited me here and told my mom, like, we gonna be all good. Like, we here.
That's a tough situation.
And so after that, you know, our season got suspended. They found the kid that did it, and the kid ended up going to prison.
Good, as you should.
But then it was all a lie.
Oof.
They got the girl's phone. She never gave them her phone. And she had a whole setup of plan of a group of girls to say this about this kid. That kid had to go to prison for like, what was it, like almost a month or two?
So they figured, that's crazy.
So they ruined his life, and then they ruined our season. And then my mom, once she heard about this, she was sick to her stomach. She was like, my mom's she didn't grow up in Cranberry. She's from Garfield. Like, so like, you know how they get down.
Spicy.
Yeah,
they're
like,
spicy.
so they're not playing.
Mom is spicy.
They're not getting down with that. So immediately, I got to transfer again. So then I transferred for the third time to Slippery Rock. And that's where my boys were and everything, you know. Slippery Rock's like a party school.
So I've heard.
You know,
I've heard.
You know, and that's where I met certain people, and there's one person that I should have met there that you do know of, but I met him in this MMA game.
And he went there?
He went there, but we hung out with the same people, but we never seen each other ever. And it was Cowboy Eddie.
Hey, Cowboy. He's about to listen to this shit. Text me immediately.
It was Cowboy Eddie. I was never around him. And I'm like, you went to Slippery Rock? I was like, who'd you hang out with? He's saying all the same people. I'm like, wait, we hang out with the same people now. Why have I never seen you? But, you know,
he's low key, man.
Yeah.
He stays out of the way.
Like, I don't know about him being low key.
I fucking love that dude.
I told him before, bro, I was like, you my dude, bro, but I don't know if I could go out with you all like that.
Well, your liver need to be on that Mike Wilkins mindset.
Listen, I'll be dead by that time.
Well, I get down, bro. Don't get it wrong. I get down.
Yeah.
I'll be looking at this dude's stories and stuff. I'll be like, this motherfucker get down. He get down.
This man will order a full table full of tequila drinks, and he'll be fine. I'll be sitting there like, bro, I can't even move. Like, how you still going? I'm like, honestly, I just think some of you big dudes just got
So, bro, I could put down tequila.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
people look at me and be like, you good? And I'm like, yeah. I'm starting to feel it. They're like, bro, you a bottle down. It's like, do you know how much I sweat? Dude, that goes in and comes out. Like, that's why I gotta put. Yeah. I always, and you know, I'm gonna get shit for this, but I'm always, what they call it, double fisting
it.
Cause that's the only way I can keep a good I'm warm, I'm good.
Yeah. It'd be
it comes in and goes out, bro.
It'd be like the Edward 40 hands.
Yeah, bro, that's the only way. If I just sip and they're like, why don't you just sip on one?
Yeah.
Because I'm fucking, I'm here for a good time, not a long time. I'm trying to feel good.
Yeah.
Y'all can, and dude, I envy those people who can just drink one. Like, oh, I feel good. I'm like, well, it takes me 4, 5, 6 to feel what you're feeling.
Yeah, dude. And then that was what it was like for me for college. I wasn't a big drinker. And then I got a little bit into it because of the lacrosse team. They like the new guys be like, you're drinking this, you're doing this, you're doing this. When I got the Slippery Rock, it was just club lacrosse at that time. It was just club lacrosse. I was cool with that. Competition at this point, I'm like, I don't care anymore. As long as I'm playing lacrosse, I guess. And it was still a good club team. But I was like, as long as I'm playing. And actually, there was a dope lacrosse team. And I was like, oh, all right. And then I got to hang out with my boys at Slippery Rock. Every game we were taking fireball shooters.
I just got heartburn.
We were drinking before a lacrosse game, and then on the field just zooming drunk. But we still be winning. There'd be some kids doing the same. After the games, the other team would come back to our house, and we just drank.
Did y'all have a lacrosse house?
Yeah. So
dangerous.
Dude, the amount of stuff that went on at those houses.
Bro, I'd go to Penn State.
Yeah.
We drive down and they'd be like, yo, come to the soccer house, right? The soccer house.
Yeah.
Nothing against soccer dudes, but at that time I'm like, the soccer house, whatever. Dude, I go there, there's motherfuckers hanging off the rafters and taking shots upside down. I'm like, y'all fucking crazy.
Okay, I can get down with this.
Dude,
this
I'm like, okay, the soccer house. What's the football house look like? We never got invites to the football house.
Yeah.
They're kind of like...
Yeah, I feel like they're standoff dudes.
Yeah, I'm like, damn, dude. So, I can only imagine, especially Slippery Rock, known for its extracurriculars.
Well, I mean, not to throw my boy under the bus, but Eddie went there, so it's like...
They bred Eddie.
They bred Eddie.
Eddie is a product of his environment.
Yeah.
Don't blame Eddie for his partying.
Exactly. I blame Slip for that. He might have ran it, but I blame Slip for that one.
Nah, that's what's up. So you get into that, and then what was your goal getting out of college?
So after college, I hit some. There were some rough patches I hit. With all right, what am I going to do? What are some great ideas I can start for work, company, and then because during that time period, I wasn't thinking about competing in anything because I did get a little comfortable with myself. I had a girlfriend at the time.
Damn girls get you every time.
I got
knock
comfortable.
You off the wheel, man.
I got comfortable. I got way too comfortable. So it was like, you know, oh, I'm chilling. Like, I got my girl. I ain't got to worry about no competing. I ain't got to look a certain way. I don't got to hit the gym, do nothing. And, you know, after, you know, college, I graduated. And I didn't get a graduation because it was during COVID. I graduated in 2020. So
COVID graduate.
So I had to just go up. What I had to do was just go up to the school, just pick up my diploma, and just drive right home.
See, that sucks, man.
Yeah. Paid $20 to get my diploma and just be and the lady at the desk was like, "Here you go."
You had to pay to get it?
Yep.
What'd you pay to go to school for?
Like, I think it was like 30 something.
And they can't give you a piece of paper that says I came, I conquered, I left?
Like, are you serious? And the lady, just for a little lady to be like, "Here you go."
That was her hourly rate that's what you paid.
And honestly, it might not have been like a true thing to pay $20. She just might have been like, "Give me $20," and I just give her $20.
Bro, you ever gone to Little League games and there's just a random person under a tent, like it's $3. You're like, you don't even have a sign. Like,
yeah, like you don't look official. Like,
yeah, like, did I pay you $3? Then you go up to the field or something, like, did you pay to get in here?
Yeah, you asking people.
I thought I did. No, you have to pay here. Damn, I got.
Like who's the dude?
And we don't have a dude. This the Moms Association.
Yeah.
You're like, fuck.
You're like, what are you talking about? Then why am I paying for a kid's little thing right now? Like, what do you mean?
Don't get me started with that, man. You have to pay for them to play. You have to pay for their uniforms. You have to pay. Check this out. You have to pay to volunteer. Bro.
I feel like that takes the purpose out of volunteering.
Well, they want to make sure you volunteer. I'm like, I got to pay to do this shit?
Yeah.
Like, damn.
Yeah.
And then you got to pay for the banquet.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? All the money goes to the kids. What part? Because I'm paying for everything.
I was gonna say, so like, what is the organization really paying for here? Like, what are we really doing?
I'd like to know.
Please tell me, what are we really doing?
Yeah, so I'm doing some digging. I see you started like a business while in college too, right?
Yeah. My junior, or actually my senior year, I did. It was it's called Coordinating Staffing LLC. So I got the idea from my mom because she was in the healthcare game for like 20 years. And she, you know, she ran her own company, then she ended up retiring. And, you know, most people always think like, oh, this kid's going to get his mom's company. I'm like, I mean, I would love that to already have like a start.
Yeah,
a
the
head
foundation.
Start. Yeah,
that's the whole point.
I would love that, but I'm like, you guys really don't understand where my mother is from. I'm like, this woman is from the projects.
She shut it down.
Yeah, she sold it. She retired off of it. She was like, oh, you're going to be an owner, but you're going to start yours from ground up. Like, you're going to start it from this to this. She goes, I'll help. I'm going to be your mentor, which she's the best mentor ever. Like,
of course, Mom knows best, bro.
She has the knowledge. Like, I'd rather have someone with that amount of knowledge. Like, I want you to show me how you got that. I don't want to hang around you if you're like, you know, you got a lot of like money, all this dough. No. I want you to show me how you built this like, you know, the studio. I want you to show me how you did it. Cuz that's more valuable.
That sucked. I'll tell you right now. Fucking all these are each individual. I had to fucking glue these individually.
Yeah.
No, I think that's a good thing that you mentioned that, because a lot of people want to be somewhere, but they don't want to do what's required to get there. And I think the most important part of being where you're at is the process you went through to get there.
Right. And that's more knowledge for you, because that's like, you can either pass that knowledge on to someone else, or you can do both. Build a lot. You can keep building and building. And you're learning how to start something from the ground. Like when I said, like, I started this company with $50. And, you know, my first caregiver was my own mother. I staffed
Hold
her.
up. She retired just for you to put her to work?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. She went right. She goes, you're going to use me. She goes, you're going to staff me in the facility. And then as soon as we get that ball rolling, we're going to hire other people. And then as soon as that happened, I staffed her. She called it immediately and said, see, told you. I staffed her, and then we got other people. And, you know, when I started this company, I was just kind of like, man, Mom, why can't you just, you know, like, you know, just keep the company and just, like, you know, show me in something that's already built.
Yeah.
You know, and then she was just like, nah, you got another worth of $1. She goes, I don't play like that. I don't care what you say. She goes, we're doing this. I was like, all right, Mom. whatever. Like, you don't gotta be hard on me all the time. She goes, I don't care about none of that. What you talking about? You're doing it. She goes, people will be grateful to have this opportunity to learn. She goes, people should be grateful to learn from a person who built something and it worked versus giving it to them. Because, like, I can give you a full billion-dollar company, right? But then it's like you still don't have, like, the knowledge of, like...
Running it, maintaining it, the ins and outs.
Exactly. Like, even, like, the little ground stuff of, like, how to get a contract. Like, you should know how to do every little thing just in case, like, if a bad day happened where everything has to go, you know how to do it all over again.
That makes sense. And we oftentimes, like, we hear about these people, they were given $1 million to start a company, right? Mm-hmm. Which, it's a lot of money. That's
a lot of money.
But they're billionaires now. And it's like, if you give me $1 million, it's getting spent. You know, like,
oh, yeah.
Because, like, you know what I mean? I haven't gone through the process. So I will blow through $1 million to try and get to this billion.
Yeah.
And I'll be left with nothing rather than, you know, going through the process of building that. Mm-hmm. You know, and I think it's very important. It's the same thing. Like, we fight in fighting.
The same thing.
You see this guy in the UFC doing, I want to be like that dude. Okay, like, what did he do to get there, though?
Yeah, what was his steps? How was his training like? What promotions was he fighting for? You know, there's a lot of things that go into that where it's like a lot of people, they'll just get the idea and be like, oh, I want to do this. And then they'll expect to be jumping right into something where it's like, nah, you got to start from.
Dude, I run through that with the podcast, man. Like, you see these big podcasts. Yeah. And I'm like, you know, and you get stuck in this mindset of, and sometimes it is like that, right? Of like, oh, well, they were already known.
Yeah, yeah.
Like they just had a following and now they have a podcast. That's why it's so popular. Mm-hmm. Look at that. I even hate to mention the name, but that Hawktua girl, bro, she's the third largest podcast after Joe Rogan and I forget what the other one is. And I'm like, for like, but like, think about it. For what?
Exactly. For what?
For what?
That's one thing I always talk about with my girlfriend. I'm like, you know, me and her always go back and forth about this, and I'm just like,
is she a Hawktua follower?
She's like you know, she's younger. You know, she's 23, and we'll both like we'll be on drives and stuff, having like these type of talks, being like, I'm like, what are these people really getting famous for? What are they doing? I'm like, they're not doing anything. They're not putting in no hard work of anything. She goes, why does someone have to put in hard work to do it? I'm like, you know, I get it's a new day age, you know.
Social media.
You know, you can get, there's a lot of things you can get famous for, but I'm like, bruh, come on, Hawktua. Like,
I think a lot of it is the person behind the thing, right?
Yeah,
Especially in today's age, people want to know the person behind the thing. And if they like the person, they're more than likely willing to support the thing.
Right.
Which I get. Mm-hmm. But, like, what did we know about that person?
Not a lick.
30 seconds.
30 seconds of
we knew a spit. A spit of it.
I'm like, I would love to be a person who's just out in Nashville, you know, just drunk, walking down the street. I get an interview, be like this one. I just say one thing and just be on like Hawktua, and I'm next, you know, I'm like $1 million rich.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you put a camera on me when I'm out and about, I'd be fucking either famous or canceled. But like, I don't like cameras out when I'm out and about because I be doing the most.
I'll say I don't want you to see me.
Yeah,
I don't want you to see me.
I want to be known for what I do, not that shit I do.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you're comfortable with doing that, all right, cool. But like, I think the world is like, to me, it's like, is this really what we do? Like, this chick's basically a millionaire now. And there's people who's been doing like,
they got her on stage. Dude,
say
it.
Like she's got her on like some country concert stuff and all this. And I'm like,
I'll tell you what, my fee, $10,000. I'll say Hawktua, $10,000. You don't got to pay me $1 million. $10,000. I'll do it,
bro.
If you're listening, $10,000.
Just give me $5 and I'll spit on the camera. Like, like that's what it takes. I'm like, I'm struggling. All right, like I got a business and everything, but people don't know is people want to always say it's like, oh, like that person must be like rich when you start a business.
I'm broker than I've ever been because I'm starting a business.
Who told you that?
Yeah,
you're broke like for a little bit. You're not like struggle, but you're broke. Like you really don't have much because you're putting money back into your company to pay people. So it's not like you're like automatically you just like you start a business and next you know you're like.
So how many people do you employ or contract now?
About 20.
From 1 to 20.
From 1 to 20 over. We've been in business for 4 years now, almost 5, going on 5.
Dude, I just learned like 5 years ago that that's a thing.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the nurses who work, they're traveling nurses with companies, or a lot of like the patient facilities.
Yeah.
They're contracted.
They're all contracted. Like every single person you see in those homes and everything, they're all contracted.
And that's what we trying to tell people. There's money out there. It's printed. You just gotta go and get it. There's so many nuanced businesses.
And you just gotta figure out which industry and which part of the game is there always gonna be money in. Healthcare.
There's so much money in healthcare.
There will always be money in healthcare.
Dude, me and Justin just talked about the healthcare industry.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it pisses. We're not gonna get into that.
Oh, trust me, I have my.
Well, you're in it, so like, but I'm like,
I have my fair shares with the healthcare industry where I'm just like,
I got charged like $1,000 for ibuprofen at the ER.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I'll go get my own. I'll go to Rite Aid or CVS. That's my shout outs to them.
Yeah.
Go get it for $10.
Yeah, exactly. Why am I paying this much for that?
Well, you see, we had to go get it for you.
Yeah. My bad.
Yeah.
What is this for? Am I buying you a new car? Like,
dude, you're paying for I don't even know. I wish I knew.
Like, what am I really doing with this, dude? Like,
we get receipts for everything, but you go to the fucking ER and they're like, "This is your bill." Hold on, can I negotiate? Is this like?
And I'm like, why is this my bill? I remember there was one of my teammates, Joe Lehman. He got, I forget what happened to him, but it was something very minor. It was like a cut somewhere. He had to get stitches for it. And he was looking at his bill. He's like, if I didn't have health insurance, my bill was going to cost me like $5,000. I'm like, for a cut? For like just a little, like a
spit on that thing.
Yeah. There's some dirt on that.
Yeah.
Like, what? 5,000 just for that? He goes, dude, literally, I was going to almost, like, if I didn't have insurance, I was paying 5,000.
Dude, that blows my mind.
That was like 5,000, and I remember I was talking to someone. They were like, "Oh, there's probably a lot that goes into that." I'm like,
okay, you seem to know more than me. Tell me.
Show me that paperwork. Let me see, like, where's this going exactly? To who? What do you mean?
Well, I just had a follow-up ortho appointment, and it's nothing against him because I'm sure he don't put the prices on. I've said his name before, so.
Yeah.
But like, I went in. He's like, "How you feeling? Feeling good?" He's like, "Straighten your leg." I straightened it. He's like, "Cool, 6 more weeks left."
Yeah.
Well, I was there for 5 minutes. I don't even want to know what they're going to charge the insurance for that.
You're there for 5 minutes, and this next thing you know, you're gonna have like a bill that's acting like you were there for like a whole like 2 weeks.
Well, I guess and this is the argument people make. You're paying for the experience, like his experience, and I get that, right? Like this dude's put his time.
Yeah, he's done this.
And he's done this, but like at the end of the day, I was there for 5 minutes for him to tell me to straighten my leg. I could have done that via video.
And also, it's not like I'm going deep sea diving. What do you mean experience, really? Like, I mean, I'm here for a reason. You know, I want to get like the best of the best to help me do something here. But I'm like, experience. To me, experience means like we about to go to space. That's an experience. Like,
the experience I think people refer to as like the knowledge he's had to acquire to get there.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, dude, I straightened my leg for 5 minutes. There comes a point where the curve on the graph, like, experience and time, like, and price, it just don't. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not in the industry, so I can't really speak much on it.
Right.
But I can speak on it in the sense of $1,000 for an ibuprofen. What experience did you provide me? You gave it to me in a 2-cent cup.
Meanwhile, I can just go right to like CVS.
And it's in a nice plastic container I can read.
I can just pick it off real quick and be like, all right, I'm straight.
No, but this is prescription grade. It's 800 milligrams. I popped 4 of these. I got 800 milligrams.
Yeah, exactly. I remember doing that stuff in college, but I'm hurting like, let's pop like 6 of these things.
Call them Skittles, bro.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
I gotta get my Skittles.
The little M&Ms, bro.
I'm at that age. Damn, dude, I'm at that age. Oh, I'm having a midlife crisis mid-episode. I'm old, bro.
Don't worry, my girlfriend calls me old every day.
How old are you?
I'm 27. I'm like, I'm not old.
Dude, what I would give to be, I'm talking like I'm old. I'm 31. But like when I hit 30, like things change for me. I'm like, man, I'm not in my 20s anymore.
Yeah.
I still feel like I'm in my 20s, bro. I be doing shit like I'm in my 20s.
People make me feel like I'm not in my 20s anymore because of the way I be, carry myself
kept
when I'm
together,
out.
yeah, you're mature.
I really don't like. I don't really like to go out that much. You know, I like to be either at home or I like to go to like some dive bars. I like to be in like the low key spot. People like you old. I'm like, just cause I like to just like
chill.
Like
yeah.
I don't want all that drama. Like I want to see some dude get punched in the mouth.
Bro, every time I go to like a big club or something, I'm getting shouldered and shit.
Yeah, like
and then people are looking at me and I'm like, you got that. Like
You ever see that one dude who goes to the bodybuilder competitions? That skinny little dude?
Dude, he's about to get rocked one day, bro. He just be like, and they all look at him like, what are you doing?
You know who I want to see? I would love if he started doing it at MMA gyms and he does it at the mic. That's what
Dude, I till this day I don't understand why people pick a fight with Mike because
not
only is he like equipped, but he's about it.
100%.
Like he's not like the majority of MMA guys and girls, they're like, dude, I'm not gonna catch it. Mm-hmm. Mike would be like, bet, let's fight, let's do it. Let's get it.
We can run this right now.
I'm like, why do y'all pick like? And it's always dudes who don't train or nothing. They're wearing some other dude's shirt, picking a fight. Like, bro, you about to get your ass whooped for a dude who fights professionally. Let him do it.
You got it. Like there are times, man, when I hear certain things like that. Like, there's been so many situations at the gym of dudes like that. And, like, I don't know if Anthony's either told you about it. There's been randos that come in the gym. I remember months ago, there's this dude who came in, and we were doing our advanced practice, right? And he's like, and someone was talking to him. He's like, oh, front desk. He was at our front desk, right? He was like, all right, I'll buy a membership if that coach can beat me in a fight. And we're like,
I set the circle up.
Bro.
Actually, we don't want your membership. We just want to see you get trashed.
We just want to see you just get straight mopped. And I'm like, bro, did he just pick Coach Will? I'm like, bro, you're about to have your teeth knocked through your sternum. Like, and he was like, and Coach Will, I remember Coach Will, he made me laugh so hard. He was like, oh, I wouldn't have done it. He goes, I would have put Brody on him. And I'm like, sweet Jesus.
It's that ego, man. Like that, there's no room for ego, especially in an MMA gym.
Nah.
Like, everyone's training and pushing themselves, and you want to go in there and exert your fucking ego on someone. Catch someone on a bad day.
Hey, bro, catch someone on a bad day.
Like, why? I just like, what do you gain? You get your teeth kicked in. Gain nothing.
Like, why do? And dude, I tell everybody this all the time. MMA people, anyone that does jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, kickboxing, anything like that, right, are the nicest people. They're nice. They don't want any problems when they're out. They don't, like, when they go to a bar, they're out somewhere. They're the nicest people. They don't want no problems. They don't want to fight. They don't want to do none of that. They're actually the people trying to calm down a situation.
They're also the people who, when they reach that point, they're like, all right, fuck it.
Yeah, and now we're in a situation, now I had to put you in the dirt. Now I had to lay you down right here. And it's like, but you don't even know you don't even know people. Like, you look at me, you don't think I can, like, I do MMA. Like,
well, that's the thing about MMA and jiu-jitsu. Like, look at Warren. You see Warren in the street, he's always like, you know, he don't really look at you. He's always looking to the, you're like, oh, this sweet man. And he'll fucking murder you. He'll murder you.
He will literally, like, treat you like a toddler. Like, you'll be a toddler.
It's like playing. It's like a dog playing with his toy.
Even I feel like I still feel that way sometimes when I'm rolling with some of these dudes, like Lucas.
Dude, I'm about to be that way when I go back. I was just having this conversation with my PT. I'm like, yo, when can I roll? When can I roll? He's like, dude, you're still not there. And I'm like, I think I'm there. He's like, go try it.
All you,
bro. I'm about to get picked off like chum, dude. I'm about to be chum for people.
Bro, I feel like a toddler when I'm in that place sometimes. Like,
I think that's good.
I love that, where it's like when I'm in a high level place and then I go and do stuff either a little bit outside of the gym, you know, with some buddies at my house. Like we'll get drunk and we'll do something, like we'll wrestle.
I love that. Dude. People look at us like,
and I'm like, oh man, this is like, you're nothing. Like, next time I get back to the gym, I'm like choking. Lucas is putting me in like 7 different chokes.
It's funny story. We're in a party in North Hills, right?
Yeah.
Big pool party, and like I'm with my group of friends, and like we can't be out in public.
Yeah,
we just can't be. And now we're in the North Hills.
Yeah.
And the one dude's like, went to give his boy a hug or something. You fight for the underhooks. So that's no. Well, then they end up on the ground. They're rolling, and some neighbor, not even the house owner, some neighbor runs over. No, we're not doing it. We're not fighting. I'm like, nah, like they're playing around. They're joking. Mind you, they're
straight
getting
going.
after
They're straight slugs.
So I'm like, nah, they're good. I promise you. He's like, we're not fighting here. This is not. I'm like, they're not fighting. They're not fighting. And you just see the motherfuckers going at it. And I'm trying to explain to this dude, like, they're good.
This is what we do. Like,
they're
we do
friends.
This. Yeah. Like,
dude, and he gets so fucking pressed. He goes to the homeowner, and the homeowner knows us and shit. So he comes up to us. He's like, no, they're good. Like leave them alone. They're still fucking going. We're having this conversation while they're going.
Yeah.
His neighbor gets fucking pressed, and I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, here we go, just pissing people off. Like, you be at a bar and you be like, get on the ground. This is what you do. But bartender's like, whoa. It's like,
no.
I'm teaching him something.
I got to show my boy something that we like. I know this. Don't worry.
It's so funny.
I'm experienced.
Yeah, I know it all.
I know what I'm doing.
It's funny when you get in those environments and people don't train. They're like, dude, they're fucking. They hate each other. It's like, no, they're playing.
Look at them. No, they're actually just like they're drilling at 100%. That's all it is. They're good, bro.
It's a drill class at the bar.
Yeah, that's all it is. Once one punch might slip, but like.
Oh, dude, I'll grab if you do me some dirty shit to me, like, and that's the thing, my boys don't fuck with me, I'll fucking elbow you.
Oh, yeah.
Tap.
Oh, yeah. That's why I love being with my boys, because it's like, when we do shit like that, it's like, oh, we're going to just straight. We're going to slug. Like, if you hit me.
They're like, no punches to the face.
And then it happens. Oh,
you're getting one back. We're even.
Oh, we're straight on at this point.
Next thing you know, we're going. We're both dead, tired. We're laughing. I'm fucking bleeding.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you good? No, I'm good. You good? Why'd you do that? Oh, well, why'd you do that?
Yeah. You started it, bro. Next thing you know, we're drinking again. We're right back where we started. We're right back to the bar. Like, all right, let's go pour some more. Come on, let's go get it.
Boys will be boys.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the challenges you experienced when you were like launching this business? Because it's such a niche, however you pronounce it. It's so specific of a business, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of businesses now are like t-shirt companies or podcasts or like, what are some of the challenges you faced being young, starting this business, and then starting such a unique kind of business?
So it's like there's always a need. And, in the healthcare industry, there's always a need for something, whether that be caregivers, wheelchairs, home ramps and stuff like that. And, being when I started when I was 20, I think I was 23 at the time, one of the biggest challenges was getting people to take me seriously. And, because, being a young guy, out of college, and it's like, okay.
You don't have experience.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, but I done my homework. I did my study. I did, I know how to properly do this situation. But also, I like that point of being in that, like, that overlooked, because it made me go 10 times harder.
Being the underdog.
Exactly. It made me go 10 times harder, and, once that one person gave me, all I needed was one person to give me a chance. And once I got that one person to give me a chance, the gates opened. Not all the way, but they opened. And, once you get one person, that one person can tell how many others and be like, hey, this company's great. Like, this guy, this young man, did this for us. And he's affordable. He can really help you out. And once that happens, second person, third person, fourth person. It's all about, like, starting in this game, it's like you just need that one. You don't need a bunch at that time. You just need that one, because once you get that one tells a bunch.
I think that's a struggle a lot of people face when trying to launch something new. It's they see where everyone, so there's this comparison game. They see where everyone else is at, and they want to be there so badly. But then what people don't realize is, like, just put one foot in front of the other. Like, continue forward and relentlessness. But, like, that's the whole premise, right? Just, if this is what you want to do, go. And don't stop. And you're gonna find success. A lot of the failures come right before you breach that gap, right before you make that crack into whatever industry you're trying to do, right? Like,
exactly.
Like this podcast, people talk to me about it. They're like, oh, dude, it's gonna... And, like, I have not touched the premise of where all these big podcasts are.
Right. And the thing is like, when you're doing stuff like this in this game, whether it be healthcare, podcast, everything's basically the same when you're starting it on your like when you're starting it, right? It's like you want to start slow. You want to start slow, so you're doing. You want to do everything correctly.
Slow is smooth, smooth is fast.
Exactly. You don't want to rush. You don't want to rush and rush and rush. The next thing you know, you did something wrong in your business, in your company. You did something wrong, and now that's going to set you all the way back. You're going to be set back even to maybe the point that's gone, or even to the point that's like,
you have to rebrand yourself or do something different or go a different way because you've tainted this direction already.
Exactly. You wanted to move at 100,000 miles per hour. Meanwhile, it's about this game is about the journey.
It's the process, the journey. And we hear that all the time. Embrace the journey, embrace the process. So like, what does that mean? What does that mean for you in your industry?
For me, it means, like, even when you're going through a rough patch in your business, or, even when you're going through good stuff in your business, to me, that means, you're going to be gaining, and you're going to be seeing the joys in that journey. You're going to be seeing a lot of joy in that, of being like, wow, even though today was a bad day, I just learned something. I just learned how to figure that problem out.
Yeah.
I just learned how to solve this problem. Because let's say you went 1,000 miles per hour and you're down the road and you don't know how to solve that problem. And that problem could have been solved when you were going slow and steady and you learned how to do it.
You skipped this problem now when it's little, and now you're so far ahead that when this problem arises, it's a big issue.
It's a huge issue, and you have no idea how to fix that. Now, let's say it is a big issue, but you know how to fix it again in the future, and it's a big issue. You already know how to fix it, so it's not a problem. So to me, the journey just really means like you're finding one, who you are mentally in the business world as a businessman or a businesswoman. You're learning how to succeed in struggle and in the good things. You're really learning about all of it, and it's all about knowledge in the journey. It's really all about how am I under pressure? How am I under solving these things? Like, that's what people, you hear about this all the time. Even I used to hear it before, early in the game. I used to hear all the time, it's all about the journey. It's not about the destination. I'm like, yeah, but
I want the destination.
I want the destination. But then it's like I really started to understand that, and I think the only way you'll truly understand that is if you go through it yourself. Like, I can sit here and tell somebody who doesn't do what I do or doesn't, have a company, which is cool, because they can still apply to whatever job you have.
Yeah, there's always a journey you're undertaking.
Exactly. So I can sit here and tell a person that, but then it's like, you have to experience it. I can tell you this, but I can't share my knowledge with you. I can't share my experience with you in this, because I really see how everything, from $50 to, I did my first $1 million in sales 2 years ago. I'm like, wow. I remember being at like, 50 to like 2,000. $1
million? $50 million?
Like,
What movie?
I forgot, bro.
Yeah, come on.
I forgot.
I can't even. Rush Hour.
Oh, Rush Hour.
$50 million.
Rush Hour 1. Rush Hour 1.
But yeah, no, I think that's you learn to appreciate where you're at more when you're in that journey, because especially with this, like, dude, I walked in here today, unlocked the door, turned the lights on. I'm like, dude, this is my studio. Like, I did this.
This is you.
And like, while I'm building it and stuff, I'm still building. Like, I was rewiring stuff right before you came in here. I'm always looking to change things, make things better, learning as I go.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yesterday, I'm looking at, my expenses, and I'm like, I really put this fucking bunch of money into this.
Yeah.
And I haven't made I haven't made $1. Yeah. I'm not in the green.
Yeah.
And I'm stressing. I'm like, is this something, like, do I keep pursuing it? And I'm like, yeah, this is something I really enjoy doing. I really enjoy talking to people. What better way to highlight someone's story than, putting it on the internet?
Yeah, right.
And I'm like, I like talking to people. And then I come in today and I'm like, that's worth it. Like, this is mine. This is mine.
And that's another thing in that knowledge right there, right? Like, you're in that position, and then you're hitting every stone. You're turning over every stone all right, what choice can I do to get, all right, how can we do this? And once you figure it out, you're like, oh, I got it. Like, this is it. Now I'm starting to get, like, now this is starting to happen. This is starting to go this way.
Then the next thing, then the next thing. And it's a process.
It's a process. That's, in the fire during that time, it's going to be like, man, like, what's going on? What am I doing here? Like, what's going to happen? Like, how can I really do this? But then it's like, once you figure it out, you feel that happiness and being like, oh, I figured that out.
It fuels you for the next thing.
Exactly.
Like, what's the next thing I need to figure out?
Exactly. What's the next thing I need to figure out? What's the next thing? But then during that whole process, you're leveling up. You're leveling all the way up here.
There's levels to this shit.
Yeah, there's levels, dog. Like, I mean, you're doing it. So it's like, for me, this is what the journey is. Like, right now, I'm still on my journey. Like, after this, I'm going right to a client's house. I'm going right to a client's house. Then I'm going to go to a bank to switch over accounts and all this stuff.
I want to deposit.
Like, I'm never, like, I'm always working. Like, even, before my practices, even on the weekends, before sparring, like, I'm always on the clock because people, like, one thing people got to understand, like, when you're starting your own business, whatever it is, you're always going to be working. Like,
people depend on you, especially when you have, like, now you have quote unquote employees.
Yeah.
You have clients you have to take care of. Like, you're in an industry where if you stop doing what you're doing, a whole lot of things start happening.
Exactly. And it's like, you can't slip up in this game. Like, you don't have the opportunities like a lot of other people do. You can't, if I get a call on the weekend and I'm doing something, my boys are having fun, I got to step out and go. So someone calls off, okay, I got to find someone. Like, I got to handle this. Fun comes last right now to me. Like, I can still have my fun and take some time off, but then it's like, and the way my brain works is like, I'm 27 years old, I want to have fun, but I want to have fun in my future where I'm comfortable, where I'm like, I ain't got nothing to worry about.
Where someone calls off, it's taken care of because you've created this process to deal with that.
Exactly.
Dude, I always tell people, man, like, especially I was young and I was trying to enjoy life, and it set me back. It set me back a lot.
Yeah.
I see people who I grew up with who are like who went the right path early on, and they're so far ahead, quote unquote, right?
Yeah, right.
And I'm like, man, like, if only I would have did this differently. But then I'm like, that's not my journey. That's not my path. Like, I made that decision. I own it.
Yeah.
Where am I at now?
Exactly.
And what do I need to do?
Everything always happens for a reason. This is like a learning experience or a learning curve. So for me, it's like, I'm always working. I'm always on the clock. I'm always out. And most people my age don't understand that. Or most people like a little younger don't understand that, because it's like, I don't expect you to. And I'm not going to hold you for. I'm not going to
fault you for it.
Yeah,
you're where you're at. I'm where I'm at.
Yeah, I'm not going to grow you for it. How do I expect you to understand and you're not in my shoes? Like, this is my dream. Like, my dream requires me to do this, and where I want to be at in life is, comfortable. I see myself somewhere in 15, 20 years. I see myself in a great area, great house, this and this. But until that time, that's the goal. But right now, I'm in that rough patch area where it's like, I gotta work. I gotta do this every day. There's no time
You get
off.
to work.
Yeah, I get to. I love my job. I love what I do. I love everything about it. I love helping people. I love being able to supply something people can't have.
I just want to take a second to shout out a few companies who've believed in me. These were one of our first official sponsors, so huge shout out. Today's episode is proudly sponsored by Carbo Jewelers, established in 1997 on the values of honesty and integrity. Whether you're searching for the perfect piece, need expert repair services, visit Carbo Jewelers in Newark's Ironbound District, where your jewelry is always in safe hands. This episode is also brought to you by Continental Jewelers, proudly serving Hudson County, New Jersey since 1964. Whether you're seeking a timeless piece or need expert repairs, they've got you covered. Visit Continental Jewelers, your trusted source for all things jewelry. You can find them on Instagram at Carbo Jewelers or online at carbojewelers.com. Lastly, big shout out to Carbo Trading. Besides coins, precious metals, and jewelry, if it could be traded and collected, he's probably got it. They can be found on Instagram at carbo.trading. You can find all of our sponsors out online on our sponsor page at therelentlessproject.com. And it's being an entrepreneur is so, like, I love it because I've seen this too. It's like you go to work every day to build someone's dream, and then you go home and do nothing for yourself. And if that's your goal, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, that's great.
But like, I think people who jump to this side expect rainbows and unicorns, and it's like, no, you're actually going to work harder because you're trying to build this dream.
You work so much.
This dream has been built, and you are a part of that process.
Yeah, you're good. Like, there are things where it's like I wish I could have done. Like when I was getting out of college, all my friends were getting apartments, houses, and everything like that. But again, I just started a company, so I gotta live at home. Like, I don't have the luxury of just being like. I mean, I don't look at that as like you got luxury, and I don't. I look at it as like, I'm dealing with this. I wanted this. I'm not complaining about it. I wanted this. So it's like, but you can't also be like, oh, but like, I do this and I'm hearing this. You have a business. Why doesn't that work? Like, why isn't that the same? I'm like, well, dude, you're a part of someone's dream who's paying you $3,000 something or $2,000 every other week. Bro, I'm making like $20. Like, I'm making like, but like, I see the value in my company. I see where that can take me. I see what I can really do with that. This is my dream. And I'm not saying maybe one day someone's gonna be building my dream. Help me along my career.
The people you contract, that's essentially what they're doing.
Exactly.
And they're doing what they want to do.
Exactly.
They're helping people. And you're doing what you want to do in the sense of building something for people.
Exactly.
So like when we have these conversations, it's people like get into you're not building a business, you're building someone else's dream. That's fine.
That's cool.
That's cool if that's what you want to do. There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
But there's a select few of people, me being one of those, that I sat there one day, like everyone knows I'm a cop, right?
Yeah.
Go to work. I love what I do. I love the people I encounter, like it's a true calling and passion. And I truly believe I needed this to do everything else I want to do, right? Because I'm learning how to deal with people at their worst times.
Yeah, right.
You know, in being a business owner or doing what I do, you need to develop relationships, meaningful relationships.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you don't see people when they're down and you treat them like shit,
yeah, right.
How are you going to treat someone on their good day?
Right.
There's going to be no meaning and intention in those connections. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So like, I love what I do, but I was always like, there's something more for me. There's something more for me. There's something more for me.
There's something more. Like I'm meant for something.
Yeah, and I know a lot of great cops who that's their calling and that's what they're going to do, and that's fucking awesome.
That's beautiful to me.
But for me, there's something missing. There's something else. Mm-hmm. There's something, like, I feel like I was put here for something more.
And that's one of the things that always eats at me. Like, before I even did this, it was like something was always eating at me, and I figured it out, and it was just like my vision and my dream. And I always think about, like, when I see people on the road with like a nice car or this like some crazy like bougie car, right? I'm like, I see something different when people are driving like an expensive car versus like someone else who's like, oh, he's just showboating. Why did he buy that car? Yeah, I get it. He has money. I'm like, that's not the point of him. That's not the point of him buying that car. When you reach a level of like, you built something as an entrepreneur from ground up to this, you buy that car because, one, you're like, I did this. Like,
I get to buy this car.
I get to buy this car. I worked hard from that day one in this studio, and now I'm driving this. Like, this is a proud moment. Like,
I always tell people, because like one of my goals is to buy a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Right? And they're like, why? And it comes from like this self-centered, or it's like, no, like, to me, when I was a kid, I'd always see these people driving these cars, and I'm like, wow, like, what do they do? How do they do it? Mm-hmm. You know? So like, when I reach that point, when I get it, that's gonna be like a tribute to the broken, young, lost me of like, bro, I did this for you. Like, look what we went through. Look what we got through. Look what we
did it.
Accomplished.
Like, we got this. Like, we did that.
And then I even tell me, when I get it, I'm beating it I'm driving it every day.
That thing's
I got this.
That thing's gonna be on a track with me. Like I will be racing this thing.
Dude,
like I will be using it 100%.
Like, people who get these cars and park them, I'm like, no, dude, I busted my ass to get it. I'm driving it every day.
Yeah.
I'm listening to T Swift in this motherfucker. I'm doing all the shit we ain't supposed to be doing with these cars. Like
that's what I mean. Like
it's more of a like, what does it mean to you, right? Like some people are showboaty, some people are, but like for me, it's a milestone, right? Like
it's so much more.
It's an anchor. Look what I've reached. Now what? Where are we going from here?
It's so much more. There's so much more in that car. It's like people just don't see. Where it's like, dude, that guy probably came from like working at a cleaners, and he started his own company from ground up, built it, and he bought that car for himself. And that car is more than just a fast car or just like this car is like a stone for him. Like this car is a value of everything that he went through.
It's another stone on the foundation he's building.
Exactly. Like he can just look at that car every day and be like, this is why I get up.
And that can be anything, right?
Family.
Like family. You know, there's some people who don't have families. That's
exactly.
But like, yeah, you're right. That's that like, you wake up and you see that. I was having a conversation with a dude in Chipotle line. Yeah. Dude looked blue collar as fuck. Owns one of the biggest construction companies here. And I'm talking with him and I'm like, yeah, he's like, I'm on my lunch break. I'm like, dude, you own the company though, right? Like, and I know this dude is a multi-millionaire.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah. I'm like, what do you mean you on a lunch break? He's like, well, I got to go back to work. Yeah. He's like, I go in every day. Like, if I'm not showing up to the office, what message am I sending to my employees? Yeah. Dude, he said that to me, and I'm like, he's got all this stuff. He's built all this thing, and he's still a part of the process. He's
still in it. Like he's still it's like his day one self.
Yeah. Dude, I respect dudes like that so much. Like people I meet and I'm talking with them, you never know, and then you're having a conversation with them, and you're like, hold on, what? You've built all this. Like, why do you go to work every day? Yeah, because I get to. He's 70. He told me 70 something. Built. Motherfucker's jacked and juicy, definitely on the TRT.
Yeah. But I mean, at that point, like, why
not, dude? Like, but I'm talking with him, and I'm like, I never got like a standoff vibe, and I'm like, he's telling me he's asking me what I do. I'm telling him, and he's like, well, just stay in it, man. Like, you're gonna see the fruit from your work. Yeah. I'm like, dude, I see it every day. I'm building relationships, like, especially in the fight world, bro. I never. So many people coming up to me like, oh, dude, I'm like, oh, and then I'm like. Cowboy Eddie, right?
Yeah, right.
He comes up to me. He was a little, what's the word I want to use?
There's a lot I could use on Eddie.
He was feeling good. That's right. He was feeling good, bro.
He's feeling all right.
And this is a dude I've been watching, right? I've been watching him fight. I've been following. I'm like, dude,
he's entertaining.
He's entertaining as fuck.
He's entertaining.
And I'm like, dude, I gotta get that kid on the podcast. Like, I want to hear his story. I want to see what he's about, what fuels him. Yeah. He comes up to me after. Not this past BitB, but the one before 23, I believe. He's like, bro, I gotta get on your podcast, and I'm like, bro, I want you on. I was gonna reach out to you, and like, so now this motherfucker texting me daily. Hey, where's your flex Friday? Your fat on Friday? I'm like, I got you.
He's like, yeah, I gotta get you on this. Come on, let's do it.
You can't tell him no either. He'd be like, do it. All right.
Bro. There's no no. There's no no.
But you build these relationships, right? Like, built a relationship with Hunter and 247, and now I'm doing their post-fight interviews. And in these post-fight interviews, I'm meeting more people, and it's you never know what can become of something unless you're in that journey and doing it. You know, because you can do so many things with anything, right?
Right. Like for me, like in this MMA game, right? Like, I've gotten to use this for a lot of things. Like one, my mental. Two, to build me up, confidence. I know how to fight. And I built great relationships through it.
Yeah, I met Mike, Will, Warren, Logan, like all these people.
All these great people I've met through this sport. And, I even get to sometimes talk about my company a little bit through, like, at the gym. I've even maybe staffed somebody before from the gym. So it's like, whether or not in this game where it's like, I take it as far as it could go, no matter what, I just work hard in anything I do. I don't care about the goal because now I've learned just be in the journey. Just be in the journey. I don't care about the goal. As long as you work hard in the journey, there'll be a good outcome.
And I tell people it's a good thing to focus on the goal, right? The outcome, right? Like you see people put it on your fridge every day, put it on the mirror for the first thing you wake up. That's the first thing you see,
Right.
And I see value in that, right? Because so long as you're not hyper fixated on that, you know, like that's the goal. What am I going to do today that gets me an inch closer?
Yep. What's that next little step?
Whatever that be, being a better father, being a better, you know, person at your job, being a better entrepreneur, being a better person. Like this is my goal.
Get out the bed at a certain time. Literally, that's all. Like for me, like those little things that people miss. I think that are like very valuable. Like I used to watch a lot of motivational things.
I still do.
I watch a lot of those things, right? And I listen to a lot of business people talk, and they're like, you know, if you came and like upheld like a nice clean house, or if you came and like wash those dishes, how are you expected to run a company?
Yeah, it's the small things that build onto bigger things.
Like how you like if you can't make your bed every day when you wake up.
You ever watch that video of the one drill sergeant giving a speech? I think he was at a college or something. And the premise was like, if you can't even make your bed in the morning, how can you tackle life? And you're like, man, it sounds silly, but if you think about it,
it's really true.
It's in the principle, right? Like, something so small and so mundane, it's like, oh, I'm above it. Like when I come home, I'm just gonna undo it all again, right? But it's the principle of getting it done.
Right. It's the principle of this, and that's where I carry that type of stuff with me. I take it personally. People don't take, like when they hear, like, you know, a lot of people just hear a motivational speech or something, like be like, oh, that was great. Like, yeah. But then
they don't apply it.
Don't do nothing with it. I'm like, bro, these guys are giving you like the information. Like they're handing you the free pass right here. Like they're giving you the ticket. You're just not using it.
I was having a conversation with someone and they're like, I want to work out. I'm like, do it. Oh, I don't feel like it. Like, so do it anyway.
Go.
But like nothing is gonna make you feel like doing it, especially in the beginning. You just have to do it.
Yeah.
And then in doing it, you're gonna feel like doing it more.
Cause like it just builds. It just builds. Like I remember even Joe Rogan at one point even said he was like,
whoa, we don't meant no, I'm kidding.
I was like, oh shit. I remember he was even like, I forget who he was talking to. He was like, you know, you don't need to go to the gyms. You know, when you start off, you know, just go sit in that parking lot. Just go sit in the parking lot. And at some point, you're gonna be and just walk in. I'm not asking you to do like be there for 3 hours and go be like, doing some like crazy stuff. Just walk.
Talk to the front desk. Ask what programs they offer.
Exactly.
Do a group class.
Exactly.
Go in. You're with other people starting off. You're in there getting comfortable. Then go on the treadmill. Then work your way to the dumbbells. Then Google a plan and find a plan. And then start trying to do the plan. Next thing you know, you're fucking posting fitness videos on Instagram motivating other people.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's the process.
It's the whole process, and like when people don't really take, like I'll say a lot of motivational stuff to people all the time. They'll be like I'll just like be like, oh, Denzel Washington said this. Like this is crazy. He said that. You hear that? And you'd be like, oh yeah, that was sweet. I'm like, yeah. So like, what you about to do with it? They'd be like, I don't know.
I think a lot of times people want it done for them, especially when we see these videos like Denzel Washington.
Yeah.
One of the most known actors. Like
favorite person of all time for me.
And you're like, well, he's Denzel Washington. Yeah, he's Denzel Washington. The person that started this journey, look where it got him.
Look, that man was denied from Wall Street. Like, I think he said like 5 or 6 times he was denied from Wall Street. Got his first acting gig, and then now look at him. That's Denzel Washington. And to me, it's like, that's telling me like no one got it easy like that. So it's like when these people are saying all these motivational stuff to you, that should light something under you. Like that should be like, I can do this. Like I don't want to be that person when I'm passed away and looking at myself being like, man, you didn't do that. Fear
of failure versus fear of regret.
Exactly. So
I will fail 1,000. And this is another thing. If you're going to fail fast.
Fail.
Like people, I saw this quote online, and this is what I do when I'm looking at like these motivational talks, or I'm listening to podcasts or books, or I'm taking notes. How can I apply this to what I'm doing? Right? It could be an actor. How can I apply his process, his mentality to what I am pursuing?
Yeah.
You know, and the more you gather, the better you are. You know, and then I saw this one thing where he said, if you're always one like I don't want to fail. I don't want to fail. You haven't started. I started and failed 7 times.
Yeah.
And learned 7 different things.
Yeah.
I am further along, and you are still wondering when to start. Bro, I was like, oh.
You're so, and that's in so many ways. Like it's either in like what money, let's say like money ways, right? But it's even, and the crazy thing is, it's in here. You're further, even more in both of knowledge and maybe, but knowledge too. So like you're way farther along than the person who's still questioning when to start. And it's like there's no date on when to start, bro. Like there's no date.
The best day was yesterday. The second best day is today.
Exactly. Like there's never gonna be a day where it's like, all right, that's the day I'm gonna. Like, they say I should start, bro. You just gotta start.
And what's the biggest, like what's the most famous time to start anything for people? First of the year, right?
Yeah,
New Year's resolution.
Yeah. Oh, like
it's like, bro, we're in October. You could start today, and where are you gonna be in January?
Exactly. Why is New Year's? I was never a person that.
I was that dude, bro. New year, new me. Bro, I was that person, and I hit a point where I'm like, why? Like, I know what I want to do. Why am I not doing
Why
it?
am I waiting?
Yeah, like what are we waiting for?
Why is that like the set stone right there in the new year? Why not start right now? Why not start at like 6 o'clock? I'm like, why not start right now in this very moment? Like,
I made this goal on my reminders to do 500 push-ups, 500 sit-ups every day.
Yeah.
Right? And this is recent.
You said every day.
Every day. Throughout the day.
Okay.
You know, like, and I remember I put the reminder.
Yeah.
It's like 7 a.m. I just got out of the gym. I'm in the parking lot of the gym. And I'm like, this is something I want to do, like kind of push me a little more mentally and physically, because you're going to get benefits physically. And I put the reminder, and I had just done chest. And I was like, all right, I'll start tomorrow. And it's going to do every day.
Yeah.
And I'm driving home. I get home, and I had made a mistake. You know, when you to put the date.
Yep.
So I thought I put tomorrow, but I still see it in my reminders, and it's red. As in, like, you missed it. And I was like, oh, fuck, I accidentally put today instead of tomorrow. And I sat there, and I was like, well, why don't I just start right now?
Let's just do it right now.
So I went in, and my chest was smoked, so I got like 40 or 50.
Yeah.
But I was like, but it's 7:30, and I got 50 done. The next hour, I'll do another 50 or 30, and that was like such a teachable moment for me, because I did that. I was like, oh, I'll start tomorrow, right? Because I already did the gym. I'll start tomorrow. Well, this is a separate goal than the gym.
Exactly.
This is something I want to do in addition. And then seeing that, like, hey, you missed it because I put the wrong day instead of tomorrow, I put today. I'm like, fuck, man, I might as well just get it done today.
Dude, and you know what I also think it is that bothers people, where it's like those set dates for stuff like when to start, right? And it's like when you set like a date from, like, it's like kind of like a fight, right? When you have a fight like 2 months out or a month out, right? That anxiety, that anticipation, is kind of like, oh man, like. But if it was right now, I'm like, there's been many times I've said where, like, you know, leading up to a fight, I'm like, honestly, if the dude walked, I'm like, I hate this I hate this anticipation. But if they asked me right now to fight the dude right now, like today, in this very moment, I would do it. Let's get it. But like, it's the lead up, it's that build up. So I think that's what stops a lot of people sometimes. And they're always like, oh, I'll push it back to this day. Oh, I'll push it back to this day. And it's like, you keep doing that, you're going to
keep pushing on. And I think a lot of people are equipped with the, fuck, it's in front of me, I got to deal with this right now.
Yeah,
We're equipped with that.
Yeah,
a lot more people than you think, you know? Like, think of any small issue or big issue. Like, when we reach a point where it's there, we're like, fuck, we got to deal with it. Like, I can't run away from it.
Yeah.
We deal with it. But when you set it, it's that anticipation, right? But then anticipation, let's say something you can't push off, a 2-4-7 fight. You didn't train well. You kept like, oh, I'll train better tomorrow. I'll eat better tomorrow. And now you're at the fight. Well, you put yourself in a mindset of like, well, I'm here now. I got to fucking deal with it.
Yeah.
If you approached everything
just like that,
like that final moment, end all be all,
bro, you have no idea how far you'll go if you actually apply like that. Apply everything.
And I spoke to a dude, Ivandro Nunez. I had him on here. Bro lit a fire under me. Like, I thought I had fire, right?
Yeah.
I thought I had passion, relentlessness. dude approaches shit like he's going, like it's life or death. And he said, he's like, everything's life or death.
It really
if
is.
you want to do it, it's life or death.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm trying to unpack what he's saying. I'm like, dude, like, bro, you're not gonna die if you don't. He's like, no, but
Yeah,
you
right.
die as a person every time you don't do something you set out to do.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's to me, everything that lights a fire under me, where it's like, you know, being more like, you know, more mature and everything, growing up, like getting older. It's like I'm looking at everything that I do now. It's like I'm doing it right now. Let's do it right now. I don't care what that is. Wherever we're trying to do, let's do it right now. Let's figure out a plan.
Well, let's start it right now. Let's start the process.
Let's start this process. Let's get this plan rolling. And then, like, my mom instilled that in me. Like, she did that to me. Like, because, like, you know, in her company, doing what she did, and, like, she's just like that in general with everything. But, like, she explained that to me where it's like, I do believe there are people out here who, like, you know, that accomplish something and, you know, the same aspect of business and everything. They're all built the same, and which they'll tell you, you have to have that mindset of now. We got to do this now. Like, there is no tomorrow or next week. We're doing this right now. There's no better time to start than now.
Well, think about what we live in.
Yeah.
Now, right? Like,
Yeah.
What is yesterday? It doesn't exist.
No.
It's a memory. It's something in your brain.
Exactly.
So is tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
think, like, not to get too deep and crazy.
No, but
like,
it's true. Like,
what happened yesterday? It's all in here.
that's all it is.
And what's happening tomorrow? It's all in here.
Exactly.
But what's happening right now? I want to grab this, I grab it. I want to move this, I move. Like, you can control what's happening now.
In this very moment.
Yesterday, you can't control. It happened.
Yeah.
It's set in stone. Tomorrow, you can't control.
Yeah.
Whatever's going to happen is going to happen.
Yep.
You can control right now. Mm-hmm. And I'll be thinking about shit like that, dude. Like, for stupid things, right? Like, I'll be driving. You ever have that moment where you're driving and you have your phone out of the car and you're like, I can drop this phone right now.
Dude, all the time. I can be like, I can toss it really out the window.
Yeah, because I can.
Because I can just do it.
But, like, that mind, I'll be having that. But then I'll be having it with deeper things like, you know, I've always wanted to launch merch, right? Because I'm like, you know, people ask me, oh, that hat, that shirt. Like,
Yeah.
And I remember sitting with them like, oh, fuck, I can do it right now. And I just, next thing you know, I got a store set up. And I'm like, oh, man, like, well, I'm going to push it right now.
Dude.
Push it right now. Like,
Yeah.
You can do everything right now.
You know that thing that stops a lot of people from, like, doing that is, like, the intimidation, like being scared. And what I always say, like, you'll have the people being like, oh, you can't be scared or else this won't happen for you. I believe in one is like, you should be doing everything scared. Because one, you're going to move correctly. You're going to move smart. You're going to protect yourself. You're going to, it's just like a fight. Like, you don't want to go in a fight not scared. I mean, if you're not scared, cool. But then it's like, you're so confident, and that's where mistakes happen.
And overconfidence.
Exactly.
I think, fear is a good fuel if you can use it appropriately.
It's an awesome fear. Like, I actually embrace it, where it's like, I'm scared, like, you know, in my fights, but then it's like, Coach Will told me, you know, shout out to Coach Will, you know, I look at that man, it's like, when I first met him, dude, I thought he was like some engineer, like some like chemicalist.
All right, I said this last time with Justin. Nerd.
Dude.
You thought he was a nerd, because I did too. And
I just thought he was like, because of the way he talks.
I mean that respectfully.
I love you, Coach. You know, like the way Coach Will is, the way how I met him, the way he talked, man. I'm just telling you, I thought he was like a chemical engineer or something like.
He is in the fight world. Dude.
Like I just thought he could I thought he was like something like Elon Musk or something, like he went to school for something like that, and that's what he does outside the gym. That's what I thought. But I just think people stop because of fear. You should not let fear stop you. You should embrace the fear. You should embrace fear, because you're going to move correctly, and it's going to keep you protected. Like in a fight, when you're fighting scared, you're protecting yourself. You're making sure you're moving correctly. You're not trying to make any mistakes. You're trying to keep your defense up, whatever it is in life. When you're scared, like me, when I started my business, dude, like I was terrified. Like, I didn't have much, but like I still started something. I'm like, this can end tomorrow. But then it's like since I have that thought where like this can end tomorrow, I'm doing things so that doesn't happen.
And some fear is like irrational. For example, starting a business.
Yeah.
I get it. There's a lot involved. But, like, let's say you start the business and you fail.
Yeah.
You're literally where you started.
You're back right where you started.
You're where you started.
So go right again.
Try again or go pivot. But, like, at the end of the day, you where you started if you never tried it at all.
Exactly. And now you know what to even do now even more.
Dude,
The
like,
right way.
And there's beauty in the end on the other side of fear. Like, for example, skydiving. When my first time I went skydiving, bro, I was riddled with fear. I still am, right? I haven't jumped in a while, but like the next time I go, that fear is still there, you know, and it doesn't go away. You just get better equipped to deal with it. But the first time I jumped, bro, it was literally this. The first time you jump, it's tandem with an instructor. And he tells you, hey, if at any time you change your mind, like, we'll pull out. You don't have to jump. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't like that. Like, I need to just be forced to do it. Right?
Like, I would literally tell him, like, no matter how much I complain, no matter how much I said I don't want to do it, you jump off that.
So I told him, and he's like, policy and liability and stuff. I'm like, fuck, I get it. So, like, they scoot you up to the plane, the doors open, you're standing staring at the earth, right? And fear is there, bro. You can't even see the ground. And, like, I have a fear of heights.
Yeah.
It doesn't even calculate at that point because you are so high.
Yeah, it's like...
So I'm sitting there and I'm like, I still feel this fear, right? Yeah. And he's like, are you ready? Do you want to go?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, fuck it.
Let's do it.
Bro, and I'm so glad I did because that experience, I think everyone should jump out of a plane.
I want to so bad.
Bro, that like falling and you're just seeing the world, that wind in your face, I can't even describe the beauty in that. Like, the fear was gone.
I heard it feels like you're at one point it's like you're not even falling.
No, dude, it's like you're floating in water.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
But you can breathe.
Cause I just done like a lot of like YouTube like stuff on it. It's like, dude, at one point they say you don't even feel like you're falling. You just like.
When I see these daredevils and these people doing crazy shit on YouTube or whatever, I'm like, these dudes are nuts. Why are they doing this?
Like Tom Cruise.
Yeah, and then I jumped out of a plane and I'm like, bro, I know why they're doing this. That feeling you get at the other side of that, you cannot quantify it. You can't put it into words. You can't describe it. It's just, it's so amazing. But that happens with fighting.
It happens.
That cage locks, that fear's there, that your hand gets raised, you win, you leave, you're like,
I did that.
I did that shit.
I did it.
I went toe to toe with someone who's trained to do this.
Exactly. Like, I did it. Like, dude, that was like, for me, for my, which I did tell Mike at one point, I'm not sure if he remembered, but, you know, I said I would definitely talk about it. I'd mention of why, like, if you go to my Instagram, right, my picture is of me and him through the cage, and then he's talking to me saying, like, because that was my first fight, like, ever. Like, even, like, I've never been into a fight. I've never been punched. So, like.
Yeah, that's wild.
I remember, like, when I lost, he comes up to the cage and goes, that's not you. That's not you. We're getting this fight. Like, we're doing another fight. Like, that was not you.
Gotta do it again.
And I'm sitting there like, oh, like I had so much adrenaline in me. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. And, you know, to me, when I lost that fight, I was still proud. Like, I was very proud. I didn't care about losing. Like, I was just like, bro, I did that. Like, I got into an MMA cage. Like,
win, lose, or draw.
I got in there.
Did it.
Like,
yeah.
I did it. I was just proud of myself. Like, my friends and stuff were there. They were all proud. They were all like, yo, that was crazy. Like, it was just like, to me, it wasn't about winning or losing. It would have been great to win, of course. But it's like my first time doing something like that, which a lot of people won't do or get in the cage. And again, I'm from Cranberry. I've never been in a fight. Someone who's never even, like, been on a wrestling. Bro, I play lacrosse. Like,
it's pretty physical.
Yeah. But, like, you know, being punched, kicked, you know, ground and pound and all that. You know, and I remember when Mike's, you know, listen to your coaches, he wanted to ask me, but he never asked about why I had that picture up, because, you know, that's the moment was like, oh, I lost the fight. Like, why you have that picture up? And to me, it was like, you know, I get to say I did that. Like, this is my stone that I turned over. Like, I did that fight. I went against a guy who already had 2 fights. I was an 0-0 fighter. Like, I had none. And this guy already had 2 fights. He's trained longer than me and everything. And I was winning that fight. Like, if you go back and watch that fight back, I outstruck the dude. He was a wrestler, too. I took him down. I didn't get hit once. I didn't get punched or nothing. And, you know, like I said earlier, I got choked. And
which is a scary fucking feeling for a first fight.
Yeah,
Lights start to dim. You're like, here it is.
Yeah, like, this is it. When that dude locked the cage, I was like, yo, I might want to dip, honestly, bro. I don't know about this.
You throw the towel for me?
I was low key, like, in my head a little bit, like, yo, can you actually just unlock that? I thought I was going to really be about it. Nah, like, let me get out of this. But then when that bell rang, it was like, all right, it's me or you, bro. Let's do it.
Switch.
Let's get it. Like, and that feeling that I found was like, I didn't know I had that. Like, I didn't, like, most fights, I feel like that happen outside of, like, MMA. People just fight on the spot. Like, something just happens, right? Somebody's talking to your girl, or you get bumped to, yeah. And a fight just breaks out right there. It's just like we're go now. But, like, that difference between, like, you got to wait until you're fighting in a cage one-on-one. Nobody's coming to help you. Like, you got to wait. Anticipation, fear, all that. You got to wait till that day. That's different than being on the spot doing that. So to me, it was like I got neither. I got neither of those backgrounds. I've never been in a bar fight. I've never been in the cage. So that was a huge moment for me where it was like, I did this. Like, this was awesome. I got in a cage. I fought a dude who's experienced. Yeah, I lost, but I was winning. Like, I did that. I was beating a dude who was
on paper better.
I was winning, and everyone saw that. And so it was like, to me, I won the fight because it was like, let's say you're a 2-0 fight, like you're a 1-1 fighter about to fight an 0-0 fighter. On paper, you should mock me. Like,
you're going in there like, dude has no experience.
Yeah, like I'm about to be like, if I was him, I'd probably be like, all right, this kid has no experience. You know, I got 2 fights on my belt. I know the pressure when it's actually in a cage, when it's not sparring. I know how it is. So, like, I'm about to go in here and mop him. And then you're the one that's losing the fight. So, like, to me, that was huge. It was like, I can do it. I can do this. Like, if I push my mind to this, I can do it. And then after that point, got my second fight. I won my first fight. After that fight, I won my third fight. So it was like, it really pushed my brain in that moment to be like, I'm making this picture. I'm always going to keep it there because it showed me that, like, even not in MMA and in MMA, but it showed me it's like, you got to put yourself in hard positions. You have to do it, dude. Like,
do the hard things and do a lot of them.
You have to do it. Win, lose, or draw, you got to put it because it's like, no matter how much of little progress or a lot of progress you make, you're always making some type of progress.
I always tell people the toughest fight I've ever been in was a street fight. Mm-hmm. And it was a dude, I was whooping his fucking ass.
Yeah.
And he kept getting up. Mm-hmm. And I remember I reached a point where I was like, he's not going to stop. Mm-hmm. Like, that to me, like, I respected that dude so much. I mean, I fucking hated his guts, don't get me wrong. But I respected him because I'm like, he just keeps going.
He's not going to stop.
Like, I'm going to have to stop.
Yeah, I respect people who are like that. Even if I don't like you, I could hate you. One of my biggest things is, like, I'll always say, like, just because, like, you know, I don't like you or anything like that, if I hate you. Oh, no, what was it? It was like, just because we don't eat at the same table doesn't mean I don't want to see you eat. So, like, I still respect you, but I don't want you eating at my table.
Yeah, and I think that's a fine line, too, because people think because you associate with someone or you're cordial with them or you're respectful with someone that you like them. Yeah. Why do you fuck with so-and-so?
Yeah.
I don't. And they're like, well, I saw you talking with them. Yeah, because I respect the dude. You can respect someone and just not be about what they're about.
Exactly. Like, in that moment right there, like in that fight, where it's like, you're completely beating this dude down. And he's just getting back up.
Bro, he kept getting back up. And I remember looking at my boys, and I'm like,
bro, this guy.
Dude, I'm like, yo, like, fucking jump in and break this shit up. Like, break this shit up.
Yeah, I need you to stop.
He's going to die. Or I'm going to die because I'm going to get tired. Because he ain't stopping.
There's only 2 ways this is ending. And I need y'all to come in here and
dude,
stop
luckily,
this.
It was broken up. And even after, dude's still going. And I'm like, And I remember feeling like, I'm so fucking glad I was broken up, dude. Like, because there's going to reach a point where he's going to get me.
Or this dude's dead.
Or, yeah.
This dude might die.
Dude, and I remember we spoke years after that. We saw each other at the same bar. This was up in Erie.
Yeah,
and we're giving each other the eye. And he comes up to me. He's like, bro, like, you've done a lot of good things. I, like, follow you and stuff. And I'm like, I'm looking at this dude. And, you know, we got drinks in us and shit. So I'm like, you know, what you been up to? We started talking. And then I brought that fight up.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, like, I ain't gonna lie. There's a point in time where I was like, when the fuck does this end? Because you just didn't want to stop. He's like, you know what's going through my mind, dude? I was so scared. I was getting my fucking ass beat. And I was like, I can't go out like this. And I'm like,
hey, dude, that's respect.
Dude, and I'm like, no, that's fair. That's fair.
I can appreciate that. Like, dude, like, I ain't going out like that.
We ain't boys, but like, anytime I'm in Erie and I see him, like, we dap each other. Hey, what's good, bro?
Yeah,
but
it's like, what's up? Like, all right, what's up, bro?
Yeah, and that's just that mutual respect now.
Yeah.
Like, win or lose, bro, you just kept fucking going.
You just kept going. You just kept coming at me.
Dude, I'm so fucking tired. I'm like, I ain't no way.
Bro.
And he's on the ground, and I'm standing above him, and I'm breathing heavy. I'm like, I'm going to fucking die just from passing out.
Yeah.
And then dude just starts getting up, and I'm like, fuck.
You see, that's one thing that's always going to, like, that's one thing that's always going to get to me where I'm like, you know, when I keep going in this fight game, you know, this direction, and I always hear it from Mike and Will, they're like, you know, once you reach in Lucas, you know, once you hit that point of like you hit pro, right, you're going to run into the dudes who are for sure about it and who just don't.
It's
like,
just a different level,
like,
man.
you're going to run into dudes who can really crack. And I'm like, when I heard that, I'm like, yeah. But the one thing that does scare me is that dude. That dude that just does not stop. Like, you can hit him with your best shots.
And you're like, why the fuck ain't he going down?
Like, that will ruin, that will literally make me stop. Like, it will, like, if I crack you with my best shot in my arsenal, and then you get back up, you're so calm, and I'm like, bro, I just hit this dude with, like, the sickest leg kick or, like, the sickest, like, uppercut. And he's still up, and he's still coming. All right.
I forget what fight it was in the UFC. Dude gets hit and he's knocked out, right?
Yeah.
Fucking gets up. The ref doesn't stop it for whatever reason.
Oh, I remember.
He gets up. He's like doozy and he's still going, protecting, swinging. Ends up hitting the other dude, knocking the other dude clean the fuck out.
I forget what fight that was. I saw that and I was like, see, that is what I'm talking about.
Bro, and like the fight ends because the other dude's knocked out now. Yeah. He's in his corner still gaining consciousness.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Bro,
that speaks volume to a person, man. Like, and not even in the fight world, just like someone who starts a business, fails, start it again. They do it again. They keep going, or they're not where they're at. They're not where they want to be, and they keep going. And you're like, stop. Why do you keep doing this? And they're like, this is what I'm called to do. And they just keep trying, bro. I'm like, I respect the fuck out. Those are the people I want to talk to.
And that right there is why this combination of my business and MMA go hand in hand together. Because it is teaching me, as a young man, to not stop. Even though, like, there are gonna be points where, like, in my head sometimes where I'm like, I gotta do it. Come on. But then it's like, I get to do this, and I am building myself not to stop. No matter what that day is looking like, I am being built not to stop. Like, keep going regardless.
Yeah, I mean, I look at it more like just like that too. Like, I'm so grateful to be able to do what I get to do, right? There's not a lot of people who can do what I do, right? And I'm like, I get to do this. Like, it's almost a disrespect to people who can't do this, that if I'm just like half-assing it or not giving it my all, when there's people who are literally dying and fighting to be where I'm at or do where I'm at. Like, I go into my house and I don't have the $1 million house. Right. There are people dying and fighting as we speak to get into this house, like, to have a roof over their head. Exactly.
Like, when people say, like, oh no, it's just like, it's one of those things, like, you just owe it to yourself. And, like, I can agree with that to a certain extent, but I hit a certain point where I'm like, no, I owe this to these certain people. Like, I owe this to keep pushing and do this, because it's like, they don't have this opportunity.
I don't like when people are like, man, you don't owe anybody anything. It's like, I got a list of fucking people I owe for being where I'm at. And
exactly.
And it's a balance, right, of like not feeling so indebted,
right?
But like a place of honor and respect of like, man, I owe, like, my mother.
Right.
She didn't finish high school. She, but she made sure I did my homework every day.
Right.
I was the first person in my family to go to college. which I fucked off the first year.
Yeah.
But like, you know, I owe it to my mother to become something because she sacrificed her entire life for me to be where I'm at.
Exactly.
Like for me to fuck it up, it's like it's a disrespect to her. It's a disrespect to me.
Yeah, but I even feel more of a disrespect to my mom.
Yeah,
like,
and it's something like that. Like my daughter.
Exactly.
I want to leave her better than I was given. I owe it to her. She didn't ask to be here.
Right, exactly.
You know, like my friends, the friendships I've built, people who trust me. If I'm fucking off, am I providing a good example for them? And not that they need an example, but like
it would be great for them to see a good example, and then I can even put them in situations.
Yeah.
I can even put them in a great position in business or some type of thing. I can do that for them. And then once they're in a certain position, then we're going to be like, man, we did this. Like, we
and then
all
they
did
can do
this.
that for someone else.
Exactly. And it's like,
You know,
we all
just-
did this for each other.
Yeah, that whole you don't owe anybody anything. I get it. You don't. Because
You
at the
don't.
end of the day, you don't. But if you truly value what you're doing and what you have, there's a sense of there's a point of gratitude and owing someone.
Yeah, I kind of feel like when people say, like, oh, you don't owe anyone, it's like,
It's an excuse.
it's an excuse. And it's kind of like, well, what? Are you talking about, like, the world or something? That's not who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about my family members, my friends, grandma. for
People
God's
I
sake.
care about.
People I care about. Those are the people who I owe it to. Like, they're the ones that helped even build who I am today. Like, not intentionally, but like just the relationships we've had growing up, the experiences we've been through growing up. My mom helping me get through school, helping me do this. And like, no, I owe them to be a great, successful person and businessman in the future. Now, that doesn't mean you got to give them money or something in the future. You got to do all this. No, but if you want to do that, great.
If that's your way to show them appreciation,
Great.
Sure. Or if you just being successful, great.
Great.
Yeah, there's no. Here's the thing I tell people, right? Because like people will be like, well, what about this? What about this? Mm-hmm. And then like you don't agree with me, whatever. Cool, that's fine. Like that's the whole beauty of this world and relationships. Like we get to disagree and we get to learn different viewpoints and stuff. But like at the end of the day, everyone is going through their own journey. Right?
Exactly.
You lay your head next to someone, you're having two separate thoughts.
Right.
You're in your head. You're like, so everyone is navigating, and if you can do this, the world will be a better place. I know that's dramatic, but if you can navigate life to your best intention,
Yeah.
giving it your 100. Your 100 may not be your 100.
Yeah.
My 100 may not be yours.
Yeah.
Yours may not be
It
mine.
may not be the same.
But if you're putting your best foot forward always with the best of intentions,
Yeah.
yes, people are going to be hurt. Yes, you're going to make mistakes. Yes, things are not going to go the way you want them to go.
Mm-hmm.
That is life.
Yeah.
But if you approach it always with good intention, dude, like the relationships you'll build, it's insane.
Like, I don't always need a yes man around me.
Yeah.
I don't need no person to always agree. If we can, I want you to bring something to the table of I want you to bring your mind to the table. That's what I want. I want to tell me why my idea won't work. Or if it's a good idea, it's a great idea. But if it it won't work. And I tell you why I think it would work, right? But and the thing that I think people about, when it comes to Owen, it's like, I just think you should be doing stuff more for the people in your life. Like for me, it's like, I want to buy my mom a car or a house, right? Like I want that because it's like I don't look at that as like I'm giving back. I look at it as like you put me in this position in life to be great. And, you were already, like, you already did a lot of stuff for yourself. You already have a lot of stuff. But I'm more so doing this for me so I can be like...
It's your token of appreciation.
Exactly. Like, I appreciate that we did this. Like, this isn't just about, like, oh, this is my money. No, that's not how I look at it. This is your money, too, because you put... Without you, I wouldn't be right here. I wouldn't be in this position. I wouldn't have come this far. I don't look at it as like, oh, I just spent my money on giving my mom a house. I won't say that's my money. I'll say, no. Me and my mother, she just moved out to this house out here. I won't even mention the fact that I bought that. No, because that's not what it's about. It's about we came somewhere so far in life together of her giving me knowledge to succeed in a business where it's like, I wish I can, do a whole lot more and be like, man, she did this. She built me to be this great. But for her, she's a mom. You're a parent, yeah. So it's like, for your kids, you want your kids to be like very successful in the future. You want all that for them, right? And it's like, you don't expect them to give back to you. You don't expect that. You put them in that position because it's like
you wanted to.
You wanted to do
You want
that.
what's best, yeah.
You want what's best for them. And then your kid does something right back for you like that. It's family. It's not about my money, your money. We're family.
So what you're saying is if mom gets a new crib, you put her. No.
Well, all right, Mom, listen, I love you, but
hey, if you need a realtor, I know a guy.
Hey, Mom, listen, how about a nice apartment, like we can get you a nice little condo.
Duplex. We can rent out the other side. We can make some more money.
Like, we'll both be in business together.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking long term. Like
that's what's up.
Yeah.
When everything's said and done, right? We've reached our deathbed. We're there. What do you want to be remembered for?
Honestly, my kindness. Like, I'm the type of person who doesn't really care. Like, I love what I do, like, for my work, my job, MMA, how things I do in life. I just want to be remembered as a person that was kind to others. And, like, I want to be remembered as a person like, oh, that guy, he was always doing something for somebody. Like, he was never selfish. I want to be remembered as, like, a person that was just, everybody had not one bad thing to say about me. Like, and like, being like, oh, that guy was this, he was that, he was that. Oh, like I want people to remember me by being like kind, helpful, and caring. Because at the end of the day, it's like, I don't want people to, and I don't care, I'm not saying I care about what anybody thinks, but, I do want people to think of me as like, you can call me up at any time. Like, I'm that type of friend where it's like, you can call me up at like 2 o'clock in the morning. And if you got a problem, like, you're feeling some type of way, you can call me and talk to me.
Yeah, I'm the same way. And it's an interesting perspective. I asked that question because we're all trying to build stuff, right? We get lost in what we're doing.
Yeah.
And it's understandable that we get so lost that we forget to do these things, right? And then we reach our deathbed, and no one says, I want to be remembered for building a city, or I want to be remembered for having 13 fancy supercars.
Yeah.
So we get to backtrack, right? Like, like as humans, we have this ability of projection, of looking forward, and then back planning. Like, how do we, so like when people get lost in this moment, and there's been fighters who come up to me for promotions, right? And I tell them, like, bro, I don't got a lot to give. Like, I don't make money off this podcast, but I'll throw a couple $.
Yeah.
Because that's my way of showing my appreciation for you, or like giving back or helping or any way I can.
Yeah, right.
People think, oh, when I become a millionaire, then I'll start helping people.
Yeah.
And this comes from a conversation I had recently with someone about, they were involved in a big organization, and they were like, I sat there one day and I'm like, what are we doing? Like, we've reached the point where we get to help back and we give back, and we're not doing that.
Yeah.
And we get so lost in our process and our thing that we forget to help the next person.
You get so lost in that.
So I not always, but I had these conversations and I'm like, oh, you're remembered by, like, there's a post-fight thing. I ask it in my post-fight interviews.
Yeah.
Like, when the lights are off, the fans are gone, what do you want to be remembered by? And no one goes, being the best fighter in the world, which I guess I have had that, but it's like, everyone's always like, my love for Jesus, or, giving back to people, or being a good dude, being a good friend. It's like, we get to do that right now.
Yeah. Like, that's what I want to keep doing is like, I want always, like, when I'm at the gym, like, I'll get made fun of sometimes, like, because people always see me smiling. Because I'll walk through the gym. Who's our one teammate, Ty? He's always like, you're always smiling. He goes, no, you're happy. Why are you always happy? He goes, you have that smile. I don't trust you. But he's just messing with me. I'm like, I'm just smiling, man. I'm like, even though if I have a bad day, I'm still going to smile.
I'm the same way, dude. No one will ever know, because, you see someone smile, it's like contagious. You're like,
now you got to smile.
Yeah, and it like, it's funny because I'll talk to people. I'll walk by. I'm like, hey, how you doing today? And they're like, good. And I'm like, oh man, I'm like digging your shirt. We're at the grocery store and they're like, oh, thank you. Like, people do not talk anymore.
No.
People do, like, if I don't know you, it's like just passing by.
Yeah.
And when I talk to someone, like a stranger, they're like so thrown off because they're like, You talking to me? Yeah, I'm talking to you, dude.
No one
What's
knows.
up?
Little things can make somebody's day. Like when I'm at a gas station and someone has like the same car as me. I remember it was like this 50-year-old or a 50-year-old mother or something like that. She had the same car as me right in front of me. I looked at her. I could tell something was wrong, so I looked at her and I was like, "That's a nice car." And she turns right around and like looks at my car and starts laughing. She goes, "Nice whip."
Yeah,
That's a nice
I
whip.
do that shit. That must be like we're getting older.
Yeah. But
I
it's
was
like,
at the car wash, dude. And that's when I had my Honda Civic. And
Yeah.
dude comes up, he's like, "I've always wanted one of these."
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, dude, it's a nice car. We really talked for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then another dude pulls in with a Civic as he's
That's his
talking to me, and I'm
car.
like, "Nice car." And me and the dude start laughing,
Yeah.
and he's looking at us like, "Why are they laughing?" And then we get him in the car. Bro, I stayed at the car wash at the vacuums for like 30 minutes just talk. But I had the time, and it's like,
Yeah.
I'm talking about it right now, right? It's left some sort of impact,
Right, and that's what I want people to know about me. I want them to know about me even when I'm gone. I want them to know about that about me. Like I don't want to be remembered by the things that I built, what sports I played. Great, people can know that. That's cool. They can know that. But the most important thing I want people to know is who I am as a person, who I was as a person, and how I treated others, what I did, when it came to situations, how was I helpful, because I think people nowadays really just go out and bank off the fact of what they built, what they did for this, which is great.
But 100 years?
100 years, that's going to be gone. And, I just want people to know who I am and how I carried myself and always say good things about me. Even though, people today are always like, you don't want to care about what people think about you. I'm like, fair. But I don't want people when I'm dead to be like, that dude was.
Or even not when you're dead. When you're gone, out of the picture. Like, you don't want people at the gym being like, dude, that Will dude is a motherfucker, bro.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want that. Like, I want people to say good things. Like,
because you want to be good.
Yeah, exactly. I like when
I
people say good things about me and being like, oh, he's all like, he does this, and like, my teammates have fights coming up or a lot of fights. I don't focus on myself. I focus on them. I help them. Like Anthony, that's my guy. Like
Hound dog.
He's the reason why he's one of the reasons why I started fighting. I met him like 3 years ago at another gym that we used to train at, and he's the one that got me into this. Like even more, I was just doing this sport, bro, just to like, stay in shape, hit the bag, something to do. And then here he comes, is like, bro, let's go to Stout. Go to Stout, and then that's where it takes off, right?
Yeah, you go to Stout, it does it on its own.
It takes its own life. And so, like, I like being a person who does anything for anybody because it's like they'll do it right back for you. And it helps get yourself out there and be like, man, I can really count on this person. And I like being accountable. Like when teammates hit me up and be like, yo, can you all mentor me? I'm like, yeah, I got you. What time? Let's do it. Even because we're such a big gym, so it's like our coaches can't be with us all the time because, bro, there's like 30 of us, 35 of us. So it's like I like to be a helpful person in any case, any scenario, whether that's fighting, whether that's life. Like, all right, there's a story I'm gonna tell you for Luke Martin. I don't know if he's gonna kill me or his girlfriend's gonna kill me or not, but it's funny. So
I don't know if he's gonna kill me, but I'm telling it anyway.
Nah, if he kills me, he kills me. It is what it is. So there was one day, me and my girlfriend, right, we're on our way downtown to go to I think it was McFadden's, and you're like, all right, let's we're pre-gaming a little bit, and then I look down at my phone, I have like 2 messages, like not long ones, but some little paragraph messages, right, and it's Luke, and I'm like, he doesn't awfully text me around this time, like to go out, when we're going out type deal. And I read him, he's like, yo, are you available right now? I need you. I'm like, all right, I'm a little scared, but all right. I'm like, well, all right, what's going on? You good? Like, what's happening, bro? And he calls me up. He goes, bro, I got my mattress strapped to my car right now, and the one strap is not working. And me and my girlfriend in the car just cracking up. And he goes, bro, we're pulled over on the highway right now, going towards where Topgolf is.
Bridgeville.
Yeah. So I'm like, bro, where are you? And I'm like, don't you have like a truck or something? I'm like, what's going on here, bro? He goes, Nah, yes, bro. I have like a Honda or something like that, and then my mattress is on top, literally about to fall off on the highway. And I look at my girlfriend, I'm like, yo, we gotta go help, dude. So we're on our way there, and I'm like, we're driving on the highway at night, and I'm like, we're getting closer to them, and I'm looking. Dude, all I see is his car, him and his girlfriend in the car. His mattress is like this off the side of like all the.
He's holding it up,
bro. I'm literally we are crying in the car, and I just pull up and I look at him in the car. He's like this, and we're cracking up. And my girlfriend's like, yeah, and she's never met Luke, because I was talking about him. I'm like, this is the way you got to meet him now.
Luke, girlfriend, Luke.
And so because I have a SUV, so I was like, all right, let's get this off, put this in here. We'll get you to your new apartment and everything like that. And then during that time, I had to leave my trunk open. So at this point, I never told him this. His mattress was sliding out on the highway back in my trunk. And so I had to get my girlfriend to go in the back while the trunk is open to sit on the mattress. And I'm like, yo, if I
lose this dude's mattress.
If I lose this dude's mattress and my girlfriend goes with the mattress, bro, this just took a turn for the worse. And so I'm getting off at this exit. And I didn't pay attention. It had cones. I'm hitting basically hitting almost every cone. And I'm like, oh, bro, I didn't, like, where can I, because the exit was, like, closed off, but, like, you know how, like, when they close off of it, like.
Bro, I never know how to do it. I'm like, is this open? Is it closed?
So,
What
like,
lane do I get
What do
in?
I do?
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, screw it. Let's get it. Get over, we get him to his apartment, but, I like to be like that type of friend. Like, I like to be
Call
that.
me whenever.
You call me. You can call me at any situation. I don't care what it is. I'm there for you, and we gonna figure this out. We gonna do it. That's how I want people to like know me. Like I want to get that across. That's why I was like, I feel like this is a great opportunity to show that and tell people like you can always account. You can account on me. Like you can count on me to do stuff like this and be helpful.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm a motherfucker the whole way there, but I'll show up
I'll
be there. Bro.
I'm there.
I'll be there. Because at the end of the day, we all want someone like that.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
if you can, like, you can't, and I love this when people are like, man, I don't have anyone. When's the last time you were there for someone?
Yeah.
Like, we want all these expectations on people that we're
When
not
were you
willing
there
to
for
do
someone?
ourselves.
When did you do that for somebody else?
Yeah.
That's how it happens. That's how it works. When you're there for somebody else, they give back to you. It's not like a transaction thing. It's like I can count on this person, so I can do the same for him. Like we can both help each other out in this. But if it's like I hit you up all the time, you don't do nothing for like you.
You're not very willing to continue.
Then why would I do that for you?
Yeah, no, for sure. I always ask this question. I'm interested to see what you say.
Yeah.
All right, so no, you can't think. Okay, the first thing that pops in your mind, I want you to say it. All right, like not like No, the first thing that pops in your mind. If you had infinite money, all the money in the world.
Okay.
You already traveled the world, so you've seen everything.
Mm-hmm.
You had no fear, and you received no recognition for what you did. So like, people didn't care what it was.
Mm-hmm.
What would you do, or what would you create?
With the money?
No, just you had unlimited money. You've seen everything. Like, if you can do anything, what would it be?
And I would create an island with a lot of like jiu-jitsu match, and what was that one movie where they played ping pong on that island?
I don't know if island stuff is good to talk about right now with all the things in the news. No, so like it's like a little jiu-jitsu sanctuary.
Like a jiu-jitsu island, like a Muay Thai type island where it's like some type of like Bruce Lee thing where it's like there's like you can go to this island and fighters from like around the world come and get there. It's like a big tournament.
Dude, that'd be on an island, like fire.
Yeah.
Fire festival for jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. Like
except you actually do it.
Yeah, exactly. Like that. Like everyone around the world. Like every fighter comes. Every this comes.
Dude, that would be fucking sweet.
And like that type of thing. And the other thing I would definitely create, because I've thought about this before, 100%. You saw that movie. What's that movie with those two brothers that fight in the MMA movie?
It's escaping me. That movie.
The actor that played Batman, or not Batman, that played Bane.
You're about to make me Google this.
He played Bane, or he does jiu-jitsu and a lot of stuff too. It was Warrior. That movie Warrior. Have you seen that? Warrior.
Let me see.
So the movie was like they made this like random. They were in promotion. These people got this money, whatever, and they created.
Oh yeah.
Like winner takes all type deal. It's a tournament, and these fighters enter the tournament. Best of the best, and whoever wins it gets like 120 million or like 20 million, whatever. I'm not sure how much it really was. Don't quote me on how much they won.
A lot of millions.
But like, I would just be offering up opportunities for like, but also entertainment. Like, imagine a fight island, bro.
Dude, that could be a possible thing though.
Like fight island. That would be so
FIC.
sick.
Fight Island Championships.
That would be so sick.
Dude, that would be crazy.
That would be like a monster thing. Like, everyone's taking a boat to get there, or a plane, or something. And you stay there, and then you gotta like fight. Like,
fuck the Sphere in Vegas.
Yeah, like let's go to an island and just like it's fight island, like televised all over the world, and you can just
that'd be sweet.
Every best fighter's fighting at the same time, and you're doing it, so it's like it's officially like we're gonna find out who the baddest motherfucker is on this planet,
and you can't escape.
You can't
because I've closed all the ports.
and it's like the only way there is no decision either. Like there's no like this goes to decision. this is like like someone either has to get knocked out, choked out.
So knockout or tap out.
Like like
Finisher Island. That's what we'll call it.
Yep.
Because you go in there to be finished.
Yep, exactly. Like it's just like the Bruce Lee movies. Like when those guys go to those islands and like they stay like they're in a hotel or whatever, they stay there to get pampered. Next you know, they're literally in like on an island just scrapping.
That'd be dope.
And
that's a good one.
I would love that. I've thought about that so much.
That's a good one. Where can people follow your story if they want to like know more about you or kind of dig into what you're doing in the fight world or the healthcare world? Where can people follow you at?
My Instagram, Will_Moriarty 42. And, I also do have, my business account. But, like, if you want to, like, know, like, more of my personal, definitely follow my, like, my personal account. Because, like, I definitely post a lot, like, I don't use my Instagram sometimes, like, to market my fighting thing. I use my Instagram as, like, a motivational. It's, like...
Everyone can use more motivation.
Exactly. Like, you can do this, too. Like... Again, I wasn't a wrestler, no high school, like some people in like, the fight world. I want people to be like, you can do anything. Like, you're able to do it. Like, if I was able to go into this game with no combat experience or, like, no wrestling, no kickboxing, none of that, you can do it. Like, I've had someone on my DMing before and it's like, yo, I would know this person, just a random person. Just says, yo, I love your Instagram. Like, it really pushed me. I think he was doing cycling or something like that. But, like, he was really pushing to be cycling, and he wanted to do an Ironman. And I'm like...
Hey, that's dope.
And I'm like, dude, that made me feel good. But I had no idea what to say because it was just like, I just do that. Like, that's what I post on my Instagram. Like, I want people just to see that. And he just took it as like yo, you inspired me.
Pull from it and utilize. And that's the thing about this. Like, you don't have to be in the industry to be inspired by someone, dude. Like a lot of the stuff I take is from people in corporate world and sales, and like I ain't in none of that.
Yeah.
But you can apply those principles and that mindset to whatever you're doing.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
so that if you want to follow my story, Instagram, just follow me on Instagram, or if not, just I'm public. Just watch what I post, or even hit me up. Like, I'm a cool guy that like you can hit me up and we can meet or we can
talk.
talk.
On the other side like this.
Like, hey, I swear I'll talk to you and be like, yo, what's going on? Like, what are you into? Like, what do you want to do?
I'm the same way. Well, bro, I appreciate you for jumping on. I'm building up my YouTube, so if you're listening to this and you got anything or you think this was cool or whatever, this, that, and the third, like, subscribe. I never thought I'd find myself saying that, but I'm at that point, dude. Like, subscribe. It's the Relentless Project. You can follow a lot of dope people who I've had on here. I would appreciate it. I also got merch. Go to therelentlessproject.com. This is the one with Will Moriarty.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
I appreciate you, bro. Anytime.
Yeah, bro. I got to get me some merch from your
let's
site.
Get it.
Because I say I like the hat and everything, so I have to get that.
Got you, bro. Go on there. See, he's buying. You better buy. No excuses.
I'm buying.
All right, bro. I appreciate you.
Of course, bro.
Later.